Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat this submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk about the show, they all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get dangerous, cause it can get dangerous.
Good morning, or good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. It's probably morning time around your way. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Tap in, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. It is Thursday. It is fight week. We do have things to talk about. Yesterday was a very, very action-packed day. Great for boxing. If you're a boxing fan, one way or the other, yesterday you got some news, and we got to talk about it, right? We got to talk about Top Rank and Matchroom officially doing their press conference yesterday, rolling out what we have to look forward to. Very optimistic about that right there. I think the traditional status quo boxing space has made a big, powerful move here in getting Top Rank to come on over to the zone. We got to talk about that, of course. And Zuffa Boxing always in the news. Dana White constantly making moves, trying to move the needle on his side of the conversation. Now in the UK, invading the UK with Sky Sports, coming to a broadcasting deal, multiple years from what I understand. What does that mean for what Zuffa is doing and for the fighters underneath the Zuffa flag, right? What does that mean for that brand? And of course, going into fight weekend, last weekend, you know, Pro Box has been doing a thing. Pro Box has legitimately been moving the needle as of late. You know, it looks like they're gonna have back-to-back weekends of some great fights. Last week you saw Najee Lopez and Manuel Gallegos put in some real work, put in some legitimate work last week. And this week going into getting ready to see Lester Martinez do his thing as he's trying to shake it up at 168 and get in that conversation. He's trying to get the winner of Christian and Billy, and he said Christian and Billy Canelo Alvarez, which is another conversation, right? That's another conversation. Did he kind of tell on the game a little bit? Is that what we're expecting to see? Is anyway, we'll talk about that as well. Austin Ammo Williams is back at it. Huge, fast turnaround. We just saw him fighting about a month and some change ago, and here he is getting his opportunity against Carlos Adames. We know Carlos Adames wasn't able to make the fight due to health issues. He'll be defending his title and giving Austin Ammo Williams his opportunity. Is it too fast of a turnaround for Austin Ammo Williams? Would it make a difference one way or the other? Sometimes you got to strike when the kettle's hot, right? decent undercards on both of these cards. Amari Jones, if you guys know, you know, I'm a fan. Love watching the young bull do his thing. He'll be on this card as well on the Carlos Adames undercard. We got some heavyweight action. Terramona will be on the card in the heavyweight division, and we got some, and you know, we got Travius Ingram who's going to be on that undercard. We got a couple of decent fights on that undercard as well, and the Lester Martinez undercard probably is going to deliver as well. Not a bad undercard as well. Shout out to everybody who is in the building. Bruce Gas Boxing in the building. Salute. What's good with you? Akeem Blake in the building says, peace to the guys on earth. Clay, big up yourself. Blessings and guidance. No doubt, Akeem. Salute, man. Manuel 48 in the building. Salute. As we're creeping into the building, take your time. Don't forget, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Before we keep it moving and get it moving any further, I am going to bring up my guy. Y'all love to hate him, hate to love him. I always say the same thing, man, but it's my guy, Angelo MFN Reyes in the building, man. Angelo! What's good, Angelo? What's good, Angelo? Another one. We woke up this morning again. You did it again. You woke up this morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, woke up this morning. You know, Raider Nation, got wearing my new blue and silver and black hat. Raider Nation doing their thing right now. We got the draft coming up. The NFL's obviously big news. And you know what I saw? As you guys know, I pay attention to. I'm also with the mainstream sports fans. You know, I'm paying attention to the World Baseball Classic the other day and NHL hockey and whatnot. Now, you know, and the NFL, they have a Fanatics event, right? Where they're going to do flag football on Saturday. And guess who I saw get drafted by Tom Brady's team? None other than the Mount Rushmore boxing himself, Terence Crawford, bro. He's playing flag football this Saturday for team Tom Brady, which is pretty awesome.
An athlete through and through, right? An athlete through and through.
Yeah, he's rubbing elbows with the Kevin Harts, all these NFL players, the guy who owns Fanatics. I mean, Terence Crawford, man, he's living his best life. And honestly, every time I hear this, you think he's coming back? He ain't coming back.
He has no reason,
bro.
He's done. He doesn't, man. And you know what? You can't help but be happy for him because you know, it's always good to see somebody be able, you know, it's just like Andre Ward to a certain degree, but with Terence more so for me because he was able to accomplish so much. You know, there's arguments there to say that Andre Ward may have left some unfinished business, some food on the table, but shout out to him. But Terence really checked the boxes, bro. He really did it all. He really did. Bro.
Yeah, no, and again, when we're talking like years from now, if we're still around, and we're doing the whole barbershop talk of greatest that did it, right? In the Terence Crawford era, bro, like you said, he checked every single box, including a box no one even knew he would ever check, dude. In beating and moving up 3 weight divisions to beat Canelo Alvarez to become maybe the last undisputed champ. We'll see how this whole sanctioning body thing goes. That's
how you remove all doubt, right? I mean, that's what he did. He already did enough before the Canelo fight just to check the boxes as far as Hall of Fame status. Like he was going in regardless, but that Canelo Alvarez was like the final, like, okay, there's nothing left for me. I mean, if you don't, you just don't. If you won't, you just won't.
Right. It's like literally like I retired after I won the Super Bowl moment. You know, I won the Super Bowl. There's nothing else for me to prove. Like, what am I gonna? How am I gonna argue with any of you guys?
All I can do now is keep winning Super Bowls, and what is that doing?
Right. I mean? I also like how even though Terence Crawford is still under 40, I think he's turning 39 this year. Mm-hmm. All everybody's standing on the shoulders of Terence Crawford now, right? And I'm talking about the Shakur Stevensons, your Keyshawn Davises, but more importantly, Jai Alpataya spoke at length about Terence Crawford, and he said, look at what that guy did. He didn't worry about the money. What he cared about was going after the best. And once you do it, the money comes. And shout out to Turkey Ali Sheikh for giving a chance for Terence Crawford to get the bag. But once you get the bag, dude, as long as your trajectory was, I want to beat whoever is the best in front of me, and that's the Jai Alpataya trajectory. That's the Shakur Stevenson trajectory. even though a lot of people hate on him, Clay. You know that you and I don't. We love Shakur Stevenson, but as long as that's your goal, I just want to fight who's in front of me, who's supposed to be the best. That's great. Which brings me to Keyshawn Davis. Seems to want to fight everybody, bro.
My guy, Keyshawn Davis. I don't know what. Look, Angelo, I don't know what to say to him, bro. Shout out to my guy Keyshawn Davis. They mad. I was. Shout out to my brother Flyer Frequency, man. I was on his panel the other night. The Flyer Frequency at night. You know what I'm saying, has a good panel. It's funny up there, but everybody was upset about Keyshawn's position. Oh, why are you calling that Abdullah Bar? He's on that 135. You left the division. You ain't. Why he got to come up to 140? And I was just like, I hear you guys. It's not. Look, everybody has like, you guys are right, but at the same time,
right.
Keyshawn is having a good time, bro. But the one thing about Keyshawn that I keep telling everybody, Angelo, is one thing's for sure, two things for certain. That boy can fight.
Yes.
That's the difference. And he will fight. So anybody who feels like shutting him up, just send that man a contract, make sure the money's right, bro. And we're gonna see a great fight, man. That's one thing for sure about Keyshawn, and everything else is up for personal interpretation. If you don't like it, you think he's obnoxious, you think he's a little annoying, I get it, whatever, bro. But one thing's for sure. That boy can fight, right, Angelo?
Yeah, no. He's let's not. It's funny to me how he's kind of turned into a bad guy to some of the hardcore fans,
right?
But to the mainstream fans, they love him, dude. He's entertaining. He's funny. He talks a lot. He's undefeated. Yeah, he's undefeated. He's a silver medalist. He's making little skits. He's pretending like he's getting knocked out by Shushu Carrington in sparring matches. Like, I love it, dude. He's understanding the entertainment space. And don't be surprised if Keyshawn Davis, Ryan Garcia ends up happening, because these guys keep messing around. Like, I think both of them understand.
You never know.
Yeah.
I think what Keyshawn's doing is he's staying relevant, bro. He even trolled Shushu. Right. I want Shushu next. And Shushu was like, all right, bro, you gotta just get down here to 126. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, if you're a fighter and you're in the room with Keyshawn, don't be shocked if you don't get called out. You never know.
Right.
You never know. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you are, don't matter. If you're anywhere between 122 and 154, you never know. You never know, bro. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel with Keyshawn, bro. He might come for you, man. He might come for you, bro.
But it's very entertaining. He's keeping boxing relevant. And I'm telling you guys, man, those type of personalities are fun to have, right? You can't have a bunch of them, but when you have one, like you take it for what it is. Like,
listen,
Keyshawn,
I love every moment of it.
Keyshawn can get serious when he wants to be serious. But I think a lot of people take what he's saying too seriously sometimes.
Yeah, they take it to heart too much.
Dude.
There's a difference between, like, for example, what Keyshawn is doing, and let's say, in my personal opinion, what like how Tiafimo was trolling, where that was more triggering, and that was I was more like, come on, bro, you're doing a lot. Keyshawn just literally, you know what I mean? You can tell that whoever he's doing this with, they're enjoying it. That's what I love about it. Even with the Abdullah Mason situation, even though, shout out to Abdullah Mason, the young bull is getting used to this space that he's in now, because now he's a champion. He's getting used to it. Well, shout out to Abdullah, because he did his little comeback lines. You know what I mean? He said, "You're the king of talking, bro. I can't lie to you. You're the king of talking." He right, but you know what I'm saying. But Abdullah Mason's father even got into it, right?
Yeah,
having fun with Keyshawn, going back and forth. But come on, bro, you blew the weight. I don't care about blowing the weight. So Keyshawn's opening up a certain space for a lot of fighters to kind of do their thing as well. He's given, Ryan Garcia's enjoyed the little face off, right? Let's do it, bro. The cameras is running.
Yeah,
I'm here for it, baby. Yeah. Let's do it. Are you gonna send the contract? All right, maybe next time. I don't know, bro. It is what it is, bro. You the man. You the man. You the man. I can't lie to you. You the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's look.
I can't do nothing with you, man. You right.
Hey, he's taking it to the next level. I definitely like, again, he's a part of the movement of these belts don't matter when we're talking about mainstream, being mainstream famous, right? Like, being mainstream famous is belts don't matter. What matters is, are you going to fight? Like, if you're going to fight and people are going to talk about it, if you're Stephen A. Smith and everybody's going to talk about it, then great. So, but yeah, man, no, I love that. I love that whole rollout. Love how Emiliano Vargas is setting himself up on that. I'm like, all right, kid. All right, this is good. This is good. Like, he's already talking about, I'll fight Ryan Garcia. Hey, man, I would love to see an Emiliano Vargas versus Ryan Garcia. Doesn't have to happen now, but at some point, that would be like De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas back in the day again. You know, it'd be fun to see. So, no, I'm all in for what boxing is doing. And the fact that we even have boxing tonight, Salida Promotions is doing one on DAZN. It's on Puerto Rico.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Najee from Cigar Talk. He's gonna be commentating.
Oh, he's good commentating on that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, so again, boxing is on fire. That's why everybody's trying to get in business with it. We're seeing more and more fights. So many fights nowadays, Clay, that honestly, man, if you don't like boxing, you're just hating on the sport. You know, like there's too many. Too many fights.
Yeah, you're right, man. If you're doing you're hating on the sport, you just don't realize it at this point. If you're not excited and if you're not talking about all the things going on right now, you're missing the ball, man. Top Rank going over to DAZN, huge move for the traditional space, huge move for the DAZN. There's still the outlier, Golden Boy. We don't know what's going on with them and exactly how where they're gonna land. Are they gonna fix it and make it right? Are they gonna stay with DAZN? Are they gonna? I don't know what's going on with them, but look, Top Rank is there right now. They bring over that film archive, to the DAZN app. That's huge. In the matchmaking, listen, man, I keep telling you guys, and Angelo, I've said it so many times, bro. There's a way to fight this fight. If there is a fight going on between Zuffa Boxing and the traditional space between these promoters, there's a way to fight this fight. Clapback Thursdays ain't it. You feel me? The way you do it is the fights. Put on the fights, man. Destroy the across the street politics. Let's make this happen. Put on the fights. That's where you compete. That's where the real fight is at. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to see. So put on the fights. Let's see Shushu and Brandon Figueroa, or Shushu and Rafael Espinosa, or Shushu and Angelo. I don't give a damn, bro. Make the unifications, make the undisputeds, sanctioning bodies, get in line, bro. You guys have been called out for your nonsense. You know you've been on it for years. It's okay. You got away with it. You could get away with it, but now it's time to step your game up, bro. You got legitimate competition on the table. What do you think? Am I bugging? We can still do this, right?
This is the whole conversation. Like I always say to the crowd, if you guys ever get to watch our Read the Ring series, me and Clay's best podcast is our own private conversations, and we talk about this type of stuff. Where, look, man, 2026, the landscape changed, right? And thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh for getting into boxing as heavy as he did in 2023. Because we wouldn't be having so much boxing, so much of best versus the best, if it wasn't for all of that enthusiasm, really. Like, his money can come from every part, right? Like, there's people with money out there who just they don't like boxing that way, so they're not willing to invest into it. But Turkey Al-Sheikh was able to take his power and was like, I love boxing, so I'm gonna put all my money into it, and I'm gonna change the way things are. And he found himself a partner in Nick Khan and Dana White. And honestly, now what 2026 has done is, if nothing else, you and I have said this in so many different episodes, Claymore, if nothing else, what was Zuffa Boxing going to do? It was going to make everyone up their game. And what did we just see yesterday? Everyone is now having to up their game, because as DAZN was doing their little launch at New York, hey, man, good news. Top Rank's with us. Yeah, everything's great. Yeah, right? Dana White's across the pond talking to Sky Sports and saying, by the way, guys.
At the same damn time, right? At the same damn time. You know what I mean? Listen, and that's what it's all about, right? Like, it's like, okay, and okay. And listen, you guys can still win it. You're in it to winning. You're in it to win it. The traditional space. I think we got a little dream team going on over at the DAZN right now with Top Rank, with Queensberry, with Matchroom. We'll see where Golden Boy lands in it. Even the PBC, co-promoting with DAZN, with the David Benavidez, Zerto Ramirez. So they're doing it from where
that was interesting, right? Because it's an Amazon $80 pay-per-view, or you could be one of the smart people like Clay who decided to pay the $45, and now it's going to pay off, right? Because he's going to get all those pay-per-views in May. So good for you, bro. I think I might have to cave in. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, no, you're absolutely
Hey, anytime you feel like it, we're waiting on you, brother. It's never personal, bro. Whenever you're ready, take your time. Whenever you're ready, and so, I'm saying, I want it to be right for you, bro. I want it to be right for you, bro. So hey, take your time, man. We waiting on you over here, bro. We got a seat warm for ain't no problems. Right here. Right here. Go ahead.
But now, one of these days, if we ever get a chance to have an interview with the DAZN president, the one that was there in New York, I would like to ask him the question: why are you charging us in the U.S. so much more money?
Yeah,
I just want to understand why it's 45. You know, I will happily pay what they're paying in the UK, no problem. But it's on principle that I'm not paying the 45 because you're charging me too much, man.
Right. They're working on it, man. I'm sure they're working on it, bro. I definitely would not complain, and I would not be mad at paying a cheaper price. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt, man. But listen, man. So thus far, I'm not mad at the money I'm spending every month. So far, I'm okay with it. I definitely could do a better price, but man, with this top rank edition, I'll be jumping into those films. Watching a lot of classic boxing. You know, I'll be watching a lot of great boxing, bro. And the DAZN is without a doubt painting themselves to be the home of the global home for boxing right now.
Right.
But as you stated earlier, and we segue to it a little bit, but there was something going on across the pond.
Yeah, man.
Right. There was definitely something going on at the same exact time across the pond. Dana White puts together this deal. He's been talking about it, hinting towards it, right? He's been hinting towards it. Hold on a second here. Let me, because I'll be honest with you. I've been working so much lately. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even scared to tell you, bro. I've been trying to keep up, and I've been keeping up how I can keep up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's see what this deal is about real quick here. I just want to get on the same page. So Zuffa Boxing announced Wednesday a multi-year broadcast deal with Sky Sports. So we knew that they were going to tap into the market. We saw what they did with Conor Benn. We kind of figured this was on its way, and we also know that they needed some sort of broadcast deal in the UK. So the deal will see all Zuffa boxing events broadcast on Sky Sports in the United Kingdom and Ireland. So Zuffa will also look to stage at least 5 shows per year on UK soil. Zuffa boxing chief Dana White said the UK has played such a pivotal role throughout the history of boxing. The fans are some of the most loyal and passionate in the world. When you talk about boxing in the region, Sky Sports has always been the home for legendary boxing fights. There's no bigger or better platform to showcase the best boxing in the UK. This is a massive milestone for Zuffa boxing. The first event to be broadcast on Sky Sports will be Zuffa Boxing 05, and that's going to be Cortez versus Garcia. That's going to be on Sunday, April the 5th, live from the Meta Apex in Las Vegas. So this will be also on Sky Sports as well as Paramount at the same time. This for this coming event, which is huge. And this Sky has been out of sports since the final event of their deal with Boxer, which was headlined by Caleb Simpson and Ivan Zuko last June. So I'm not going to get too much deeper into that. But
no, I mean, the key thing here, Clay, is I think that so you and I have these discussions where there's the hardcore space where I've explained this before. It's like being a food critic, right? If you're used to going to Michelin star restaurants, then you're taking any joint and you're trying to compare it to that standard. When the truth of the matter is, if you're just someone who likes to eat good food, you just care that there's a joint close to you that you could have a good burger or whatever it is, right? So I've listened to I'm addressing some of the pundits in the UK who some of them already tried to clown on this. First of all, guys, you haven't had boxing on Sky Sports on a really high level in a long time. Boxer, they did all right, but it wasn't like the greatest Sky Sports deal in the world. Now, since Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn had Sky Sports, now you get it back on regular TV, but more importantly, what Sky Sports was not doing, I don't think in the past, was showing the American side. Now you're going to get to see the American side, the Australian side, the Mexican side, because that's what Dana White said in yesterday's press conference. He said, here are the territories that Zuffa Boxing is focusing on: Mexico, Australia, UK, Ireland, America. He complimented UK, Ireland, and he said, you guys have been the reason why boxing stayed alive this whole time. We appreciate you. We're going to continue to give you these great fights. It's time for America to get back on helping this cause, right? Now, think about those territories, Clay. Australia, Mexico, that's who Dana's going after. You see how it's a very planned strategy. It's not about the
100%.
fighters more than it is about the territory. He's trying to give everybody content because he's trying to feed everybody who's hungry. He's not trying to give you Michelin star food yet. So stop acting like Andres Cortez versus Garcia is supposed to be a Michelin star restaurant. Bro, it's a smash burger. All right? If you like good smash burgers.
I enjoy a good smash burger, bro. Let me tell you, Angelo, in its exposure, you got to think that anybody who's signed to Zuffa Boxing right now is pleased with what they're seeing Dana do. Dana's kind of like, like delivering on the promise, right? Like, yo, you guys fight. I'm going to make this happen. So you got to think a Demazian Van Houder has to be looking at this like, yo, that's what's up.
Yes.
Because heavyweight boxing is celebrated so much in the UK and Ireland, and in Australia. So it's like these are now your event that's happening right here in the Apex in Las Vegas. People might want to say, it's in the garage, it's in some small little warehouse, but visually, where are these fighters being exposed to?
Yep.
How many people are seeing these fighters fight? So it's a chess game. It's a marathon. It's not a race. But if you're part of Zuffa right now, if you're a fighter over there, you got to be happy with the way the ship is moving right now. You got to be optimistic right now.
Yeah. And if you guys, again, if you flip it the other way, so people like myself and Claymore, we are absolutely happy that there's one network. This is what my cousin was telling me. Shout out to her and Dot Project on the Style brand. He's about to clothe some NBA players in July. Shout out to my cousin there. But he said boxing's so hard to follow because I don't know what channel I'm supposed to go on to. When I was explaining to him about Zuffa, and he's like, this makes it a lot easier that I can watch UFC and Zuffa on Paramount. Well, people like you and me are now happy that we can click on the zone and know Queensberry's there, Matchroom's there, Top Rank is there. Golden Boy, maybe not. We'll see. But the only thing left is PBC, who they did announce that they are going to be showing May 2nd on. So maybe there will be a PBC announcement, a partnership of some sort with the zone. But for you and me, we're happy about that. There's not a lot of NFL fans or NBA fans or Major League Baseball fans that are paying $45 a month, Claymore, just so they can have a boxing channel. So the less than 1 million people like you and me, we're all in on that. But everybody else, Clay, everybody else is watching the free content, which is on Sky Sports, Paramount Plus, CBS, and shout out to Pro Box TV, guys. You are killing it. I don't know how you're coming up with this budget.
No, they're doing the work.
Good for you, man. Good.
But I mean, even with their event coming up, you know what I'm saying? It seems like the promoter, Robert Garcia, is one of them. Obviously, Gary Jonas is on there. Samson Leakowitz is part of it too. So it's definitely a team effort. They're coming together to put these together. But Pro Box is doing a great job right now.
Great job.
Lester Martinez and Najee Lopez are definitely huge up and coming fighters. Hold on a second.
They're not in the same division.
Been fighting for a super middleweight title, right?
Yes, 168. Yeah, because remember he had fought in Bealey. So, according to Lance Pugmire, there was an agreement between Terence Crawford and Lester Martinez, who is his fighter. That's Terence Crawford's fighter, right? Part of his stable. I don't know exactly how much percentage Terence makes off of Lester, but he believes in Lester. He believes in the Guatemalan product. So the deal was when he won the interim WBC from Christian and Bealey, he was going to leave so that Lester Martinez could be the next product of the best of the 168s. Obviously, it ended up being a draw, which is why we're here. And I think you're the one that told me you're hearing Christian and Bealey versus Canelo, which is crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Lester said that he wants the winner of Mbili Canelo. And I'm like, what? Did you just let something out the bag? Like, what do you mean the winner between them? I didn't know those Mbili and Canelo were talking about doing something.
Right.
But he said he wants the winner. That's what he said. He wants the winner. So yeah, I don't know. He might have spoke a little too soon, or maybe he's assuming, speculating that he's hearing rumors just like everybody else. And nothing's in stone. Obviously, no announcements have been made. But everybody remembers Lester Martinez versus Christian and Billy. That was such a crazy fight, man. You know what I mean? Literally almost, was it the fight? I mean, damn near. If it wasn't, it was right there next to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the excitement of Canelo Crawford that night, but I was there, bro, and I'm telling you, Caleb Walsh versus Fernando Vargas Jr. was a letdown. So in some ways, it helped Canelo Crawford because then we went really high, then we went really low, then we went really high again. But if you'd have
it worked out. It gave us an opportunity to go get our food, our drink.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It gave us an opportunity to go to the bathroom. Go ahead, you know what I mean? It worked out. It worked out for us in the bigger picture. It worked out for us.
Yeah, but in Billy Martinez, I would love to see a trilogy out of those guys, right? I don't know if they'll ever fight again though, because if Canelo puts it on in Billy, you'll probably never see Lester Martinez versus Billy again. But that was a hell of a fight, Clay. I would say fight of the night that night. You know,
that fight went in.
Yeah, that was it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go to Netflix. It's free. Just go to Netflix and go check it out.
But of course, you know, Pro Box coming off such a great last weekend with Najee Lopez and Manuel Gallego. That ended up being, that's to me so far, that is fight for me so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fight of the year.
It's hard not to say it isn't, but again,
right.
It helps that people like us were talking about it, right? Because again, it's not like Stephen A. Smith is getting on his show to talk about that.
Right.
And and again, herein lies the difference between what the Zuffa Boxing and the Ring magazine model is, which is, hey, we're going to cater to every fan who's a sports fan who wants to get into boxing. And then there's the DAZN group, right? People like us who's like hardcore. Yeah, we'll look back. I want to see Hagler Hearns from back in the day. I want to see Roberto Duran's fights. Like, then there's the little niche group, right? So yeah, man, you know, but boxing's in a great space. Every facet, every eyes is getting a chance to see it. So absolutely love it.
100%, 100%, man. I'm looking forward to see what Lester does Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'm also obviously looking forward to seeing this Carlos Adames and Austin Williams, Ammo Williams fight. A fast turnaround for Austin?
Me myself, dude, I don't think so, because I guess you know what it feels like to me? It feels like a Zuffa turnaround. It's kind of like, you know, if Jai were to fight again in May, would you say if Jai was scheduled for May, Clay, because it's March right now, right? Jai just fought March 8th. And then if Dana White were to say Jai Apatow is fighting in May in the UK on Sky Sports, because he said that we already know there's a May 10th show happening here in Vegas. We know about that. That's Mother's Day, Apex. They just haven't told us who the main event is yet. But there's a second Zuffa show that's going to be on Sky Sports. That's going to be live. So what if they say Jai Apatow is fighting Sky Sports? This is the rollout. He's fighting whoever they put in. You wouldn't say that's a fast turnaround. And he went 12 rounds with Glanton, dude. It wasn't like Glanton was easy, bro. He was
it wasn't. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's a good and a bad to it. There's a pro and a con. The pro is, as long as there was no injuries, as long as the fight was, you know, as long as there's nothing he's nursing, or because you just don't know with these fighters, right? They say 9 out of 10 times fighters are going into these fights with some kind of injury. Something is going on. The last time that Austin Williams fought was at end of January, early February, right? January 31st.
Yeah, it was like the 31st, right? Yeah. It was supposed to be. He was on the undercard of Shakur T.O. He was supposed to fight Adames. Adames got sick or whatever the excuse is, bro. Like, I don't. It sounds like
shout out to Carlos Adames for taking the fight, making it happen, though.
I mean, did he really have a choice? Shout out to not having a choice.
Well, then shout out to the WBC for making it happen. Then somebody did something, you know what I mean? Because this was a big turnaround, and I just think Emma Williams definitely confronted with the point of, I got to do this, whether I'm ready or I'm not ready. I can't, you know, I worked too hard to get to this point. If this is going to be what it is what it is. He wasn't in the ring with Wendy Tucson, who I thought boxed pretty well with him.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So there's a pro to that, because it's like a really good sparring session for him. Now, I'm saying a real good sparring session. So he's fresh. He was just in the ring. Going into this fight, I can't help but favor Carlos Adames. I know what he can bring to the table, but I think this could be the make or break move, as far as maybe this turnaround is a good thing for him, where he's coming in, you know, he never cooled down. He never jumped out of camp. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
Or if he's nursing something, or if he's, you know what I mean, it could work against him. But Carlos Adames is definitely is a game opponent. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, no, I love the fight. Look, first of all, I think that PBC doing that whole Mexican Cinco de Mayo card, which looks like a pretty all action packed Mexican card. I'm all for the card. They rolled out the players in it. It's on the zone. So here you have Carlos Adames, who's a PBC fighter. He's going to be very vested in defending the belt. Let's not forget that he had a hell of a fight against Hamza Shiraz last year in February. That was on a Ring Magazine card. So now we get to see him against Ammo Williams, who's really been chomping at the bit. He's always been the bridesmaid. He's never been the bride. So now he gets a chance to have his wedding day, let's say. If he wins his first world title against Carlos Adames, bro, sky's the limit for that guy now because 100%. 160, Janibek's out, right? Xander can come up to 160. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different things that can happen for Adames, but I would love to see the rematch between him and Hamza Shiraz at 68 whenever Adames finally decides to move up to 168, because Hamza's playing around right now. We still don't know. Pacheco, by the way, lost out on Munguia because he was talking on a radio show last week about how, we're talking to Munguia. Well, you ain't fighting Munguia now.
Munguia, I mean, listen, and that's a great segue because yeah, man, Munguia and Armando Resendez looks like they're going to be the replacement for Jamal Charlo. Charlo, once again, what's going on with the Charlos, right? What's going on with Jamal? We seen a video of him circulating about 2-3 weeks ago, him and Ronnie Shields back in the building, back on the same page. He gave Ronnie Shields his trainer WBC title. You know what I mean? He gave him, he said, this is for you. It was great. I was excited. I thought that Ronnie Shields has always done great work with Jamal Charlo. Yeah. But then here we are. For some reason, one way or another, he's not in this event. I mean, I don't want to speculate too much into it, but damn it, bro. Damn it, Charlo.
You're only getting older, Charlo. I think he's 35 now, so you're only getting older. And I don't know if you're waiting for a particular bag, because what everybody's doing right now, people like Jai Pataya and everyone else, they're just like, I just want to fight. Keyshawn right now. Keyshawn is moving the opposite of what Charlo's doing. Keyshawn is, I'll fight everybody.
Yo, he don't care. He done called out Isak. He done called out Devin. He done called out Abdullah Mason. He done called out Ryan Gar. He don't give a damn as long as it ain't Shakur.
Yeah. The Charlos, and I brought it up because the Charlos are the other way. Like Jermel, for example. Specifically, you want to fight Boots. Bro, why don't you just fight somebody? Just fight somebody so we can see how good you still look, and then we can worry about the logistics of everything else later. But the fact that you're inactive, last time your brother fought was Cornflake, bro. Shout out to Cornflake, but come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. Now, obviously, the go-to argument is always, mental health, right? That's what they like to go right to with Jamal Charlo. Whenever they're talking about the Charlos, if something's going wrong, it's mental health, right? Especially Jamal. I don't really subscribe to that because what I don't know, and I think that's an extreme place to reach to go there outside of some of the obvious things in the middle of the room, which was yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Yep.
That's what it seems to be for a lot of these guys, man.
Yep.
The guys who are used to getting paid good money, right? The guys who are used to getting paid good money want good money. And if that budget ain't there to give them that kind of money, listen, bro, things are going to be hard to nail down. And Jamal Charlo seems to be somebody, once again, who's living up to his reputation as somebody who you can't count on.
Right.
I mean, putting his name on a card does not mean the fight's going to happen with him.
Right.
That's not how it works. Now, maybe he got an injury in real time. Maybe he's dealing with a real injury that's who knows. But I can tell you built a reputation for yourself to where it's hard to go with that. You know what I mean? It's hard to go with the injury. So we got to see what ends up happening. But that being said, what do you think about Armando Resendez versus Jaime Munguia? I'm being honest with you. I like it.
Yeah, no. Remember last year we were talking about it because it was last year. We were saying, hey, we're hearing that Munguia and Resendez because we even had a conversation on it on a live. And I was like, yeah, I'm hearing Munguia Resendez too. So I think they just circled it back. I think that all that happened was they were like, we'll poke around on this other. Oh, no. Charlo don't really want to fight you. All right, Munguia, we're back to you, buddy. Like
Munguia's phone rings.
Yeah, no, I love it. At the end of the day, look, man, I love it for all of these fighters because it's just like in the NFL. In order for you to be picked up by another team who wants to spend their salary cap on you, you actually have to practice or play, go to a pro day, do a combine, do something, right? And after May 2nd, and really we do it every fight now. After every fight, we look at someone and we go, I wonder when his contract's up. Because the price war is happening. Like you guys, again, in real time, you saw Zuffa Boxing made an offer to Bam. Bam signed the contract. But because of right of first refusal laws, Matchroom was able to take him. Matchroom, on the other hand, though, wasn't able to take Conor Benn. You saw Michaela Mayer. She went to MVP. You saw Andres Cortez, Mark Magsayo. They're all going to Zuffa. So there's going to be Munguia is the type of fighter that would be perfect for Zuffa. But, we'll see. Like, how are you going to get treated? So I love it, man. I love that whole May 2nd rollout, the way they did it. It's definitely a love letter to Mexico if you look at the whole card. So I'm fine with Charlo not being in there. In fact, bro, go fight in an American card somewhere. Go call Eddie.
I'm fine with it too, because to be honest with you, unfortunately, I'm used to it with Jamal. Right. I just am. So it's no longer shaking my world up or anything like that. I think it is unfortunate because I am a Jamal Charlo fan. I want to see him come back, bro. I want to see him fight, man. But without a doubt, man, this doesn't surprise me at all that he's not. And it doesn't surprise me. It's kind of it's disappointing. It's like, damn, bro. I was hoping that when I saw him get back with Ronnie, I was like, man, he sent for me. I was like, he may be. Ronnie Shields is a serious dude, right? Like he's just not playing around. So to see Ronnie Shields and him get back together, I'm like, and he was saying like, I'm gonna show you I'm serious this time. So even he knows Ronnie probably was on that time with him where Ronnie was like, bro, don't play with me, bro. Go play Lotto. Don't play with me, bro. I'm really out here doing shit. And I thought that Jamal, giving him the belt, I think he was trying to prove to Ronnie Shields to me. That's what I processed it as. Is he's trying to let Ronnie, I know you think it's a game, but it's not a game. I'm serious. We about to do it this time. And I'm like, there we go. That was a good thing to see. But and once again, maybe this time around it's a legitimate thing. Maybe he legitimately has a legitimate injury. Maybe something not irresponsible. Maybe something, diabolical. But we won't know. But look, Jaime Munguia versus Armando Resendez. I'm here. I'm with it. Armando Resendez looked great against a Caleb Plant. In my opinion, though, we can be real and also say that Caleb Plant wasn't himself in that fight. To me, I think he fought a fight that normally I wouldn't see him fight. We know that the camp was kind of weird with him, his father, and with Breadman. That Breadman kind of complained low key, like, "Hey, bro, I like my fighters to be in my city with me so I could train them. The splitting the time thing. You doing some time with me, then you going back to Tennessee to go hang out with your dad. You know what I'm saying? While he trains you, and then you come back to me. Thing was kind of weird, and I think it translated into the fight. But Armando Resendez capitalized off the opportunity he had, did what he had to do. Jaime Munguia looks. I'm going to ask you, how has Jaime Munguia been looking to you since the Canelo Alvarez fight?
Looked great to me. I mean, he got knocked out by Bruno Serraz, right? Which was a big shocker. And then he came back and he had a hell of a fight against Bruno Serraz, who ends up popping for something, I think. Or no, Munguia popped for something, but then but then they said it was all good because he didn't really pop for anything. Yeah, man, no, he looks fine to me. Munguia is Munguia. What you get out of Munguia after 45 wins is that's the fighter you're fighting. Right? Like it, hate it. It's kind of like Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti. This is how they fight, right? So I like it. He's an all-action Mexican style, let me get at you type of fighter. And him against Resendez will be a great fight. I don't know who will win. Honestly, it's 50-50 to me. And I could go either way. If Resendez wins, things get better for him in his life. If Munguia wins, he's right back in there. And now you can see fights like maybe Munguia Shiraz shows up. Maybe Munguia, Plant shows up. But honestly, actually, and this is just a sidebar, Clay. I actually think that there might be a possibility that if Edgar Berlanga does sign with Zuffa at 175, who I think will also end up in Zuffa at 175 is Caleb Plant, bro. Because I think Caleb Plant versus Berlanga could be a big American showcase on a CBS or a Paramount. That would do numbers. That would do numbers for the mainstream. Sports fan. Berlanga.
It's a fight that has some history. This needs to be rekindled, but it definitely has some history there, without a doubt.
Right.
There's definitely some history. I'm looking over here. This is Jaime Munguia's. By the way, 45 wins, 35 knockouts, only 2 losses, one loss.
One to Canelo. Yeah, one to Canelo, and then the other one to Saras. Right.
So after Canelo, he gets in there with Eric Bazinian, and he knocks him out. Right.
Yeah.
It's a little fight. He knocks him out. He gets in there with Bruno Saras, and he becomes a little knockout happy. He's really aggressive. He wants to get these guys out of there. This fight was also in Mexico, so this was a big fight for him. Like, this was like a homecoming almost for him to get this opportunity to perform in front of his people. Bruno Saras comes from France. I think Bruno had like 4 knockouts on his record. Right. So to say that Jaime Munguia slept on him might be an understatement, right? Jaime definitely wasn't worried about what was coming back, and turns out he should have been concerned. He should have paid attention and read the room a little bit better. He got clipped. Then he goes to Riyadh season, right? Was this on the Canelo what you call it card? The Canelo what's my guy? Who's the IBA? Wasn't it the
yeah. Right? It was on the William Skull.
Yeah, William Skull.
But this was the fight that was the best fight of that whole card. Yeah, the Bruno Saras versus Munguia 12 rounds fight. That was a great fight.
Takes it to foot 12 and honestly schools Bruno. It wasn't just he was a
good fight. It was definitely back and forth. It was a good fight.
But he won it was a unanimous decision. He won like the lion's share of
yeah, like you can look at what the score was, but he did win, I think, like 8-4 or something like that. And then he got something like that.
You know what I'm saying? Now, so coming off that fight, which was back in May of 2025, he'll be a year out the ring. You know what I'm saying? When this fight happens, he gets in there with a Jose Armando Resendez. Jose Armando Resendez, only 16 fights in his career, which is crazy, right? He's not like
he beat Caleb Plant, bro.
He beat Plant. He has 2 losses. One of those losses by a knockout. Elijah Garcia, who I call the natural born killer. You know what I mean? I actually call him Dexter. I had an opportunity to speak to Elijah Garcia one time, and I told him that. He looked at me crazy. I was like, because if y'all don't know Elijah Garcia, he has like a farm. He's like a country boy, and he was talking about the things that he likes to do. He likes to, field dress the animals. He likes to kill them, and he says he enjoys. It's a good stress relief for him. And I was like, "Oh, bro, you're Dexter, bro." I'm like, "You're Dexter." And he just kind of looked and kind of smiled at me, and I was like, "Nah, bro, you're Dexter, bro. You're kind of a sociopath, low key. It's all good though." But you know what I'm saying? He's like, I find myself doing this for leisure time. But Elijah Garcia did stop him in 2023, but he got a stoppage against Fernando Paliza, right? And then got the upset win against Caleb Plant.
That's a big one.
You know what I mean? It was a big one. But like I said, acknowledging that Caleb Plant to me just wasn't the Caleb Plant I'm used to. He wasn't the Caleb Plant I'm used to, who I thought he would be. But it is what it is. He going into this fight with Jaime Munguia. You can't help but favor Jaime Munguia going into this fight, man, for me. I just favor
50-50,
him.
Bro. 50.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a complete landslide, but Armando Resendez looks like he's just getting who has he really, you know what I mean? Jarrett Hurd. You know what I mean? He knocked out Jarrett Hurd. What has he been doing? What's his record got going on, man? Who's he fought? You know what I mean?
I'm just doing the eye test. You look pretty good against Caleb Plant, bro.
Hey, bro. And that's what this fight's going to be about, right? So I guess that's what the storyline for this fight's going to be, right? The storyline for this fight is going to be, is Armando Resendez a hype job? Did he just catch Caleb Plant on a bad night? Is he really like that? And Jaime Munguia, who are you really at this point?
Right.
Because between the PED accusations, the knockout that you got with Bruno Saras, you didn't knock him out in the rematch. who are you really? Are you somebody who just got blessed with the Canelo fight? And because you went the full 12 rounds, are we giving you too much respect? Because he's 45 fights into his career, and it's just now he's having these significant fights where we're talking about him the way we're talking about him.
Right.
This fight here, the winner of this fight, tried true, right? The winner of this fight, we get to be like, is legitimate.
I mean, I again, the winner of this fight, I like it because we're about to see Lester Martinez, right? Lester Martinez wins. There's another storyline for you right there, man. Winner Munguia versus Resendez. Like, I like it. I like this. Keep rolling it out, guys. Keep rolling it out.
I'm here for it. I'm with you. I'm here for it, man. Let's have at it.
And this is again to your point, like Charlos, either get in the party bus or just tell us you're not a part of it anymore, bro. Like, we're tired.
Well, in a minute, we're gonna tell you you're not a part of it if you don't hurry up. How about that? I'm gonna tell you that. So I advise you to move soon, because in a minute.
Look, man.
Yeah, we're gonna let you know we're not.
If PBC ends up having the same type of deal with the zone. Yeah. Oh, is my screen frozen again? My bad.
Yeah.
If PBC has the same type of deal like what Top Rank's doing with the zone, which Todd DeBuff really didn't want to share with Ariel Helwani, but it sounds like it's kind of like I want to say it's what we're doing with the Raiders right now. When we feel like we want to just give you a try, we're giving you a 1-year contract. But if we're trying to build something with you, then we're giving you a 3-year contract, right? So it feels like in between the trial and the like when they say multi-year can mean anything. It could mean 2. You know what I mean? It could be 2.5, right? Like, I don't know. How many years is it, Todd? Like, Ariel was like, how many years is it? And he's like, whoa,
he doesn't want to say,
I feel like I'm on a deposition, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Todd sounded a lot like Steven Espinosa.
Yes.
That's exactly what he sounded like to me. Yes. Somebody who literally is like, I don't know, because we're on we gotta deliver. We gotta show them proof before they even want to commit to anything with us. That's what I heard.
Right. That's what I heard too.
The difference though is I believe Top Rank can deliver. I believe they can.
I agree 100%. They have the like if we were going to go down a roster list, I can argue that Top Rank has the best roster out of everybody.
Especially
better than Golden
like
Boy, better than Zuffa, better than no. Hey, look, shout out to those. I mean, they know what they're doing, dude. Brad Goodman, Carl Moretti, Brad Jacobs, like all those guys, they all know what they're doing. They don't suck as a promotional group. As a developmental group, right? The problem is it's like, guys, at some point you have to ride the wave of the times. And I'm sure what they saw, Clay, is they didn't have a deal in July. You saw Todd DeBuff kind of like going, ESPN, we're in talks with. Like, look, guys, what you saw is Dana White going like this fast. And you're like, we got to get on somebody's wave. The surfboard's got to get on somebody's wave, and then they just went with the zone, bro. Honestly, though, again, the competition is going to be when Emiliano Vargas's contract runs out, when Keyshawn Davis's contract runs out, when they get to the Shakur level, to the Shakur point, are you guys going to have the money to be able to retain him? Because if you don't, there's $100 million coming from Paramount that says they have the money to retain these guys. So,
listen, they're sweetening up the pot over on the Zuffa side. They did every other week is something coming out that they're doing that's just making it more appealing. You know what I'm saying? And the money, obviously, the budget is definitely there, but also it just seems like the vision is so much bigger than what people wrap their minds around. I think a lot of fighters are going to start entertaining whether or not we want to be part of that or not. Once they become convinced that this is going to be history in the making, do they want to be part of history in the making? Do they want to be part of the transition or be on the other side of a potential losing point in conversation? I'm saying as far as that traditional space. But I love what I see Top Rank doing. I'm super interested in what they're going to do with their fighters. Abdullah Mason, Young Bull. I'm so excited to see what he's getting ready to do. Let's see him get that title defense against Joe Cordina, and let's see if they can get him in the unification conversation. Let's see if Golden Boy can figure out what they're going to do.
And let me ask you about that. What are they doing, bro? Other than fucking suing fighters, like what is Golden Boy's plan?
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. I'm telling you. And listen, I've been calling out Oscar De La Hoya since last year. I've been seeing the trajectory. I haven't been liking it. I've been seeing these little moves, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, you got Floyd Schofield Jr. sitting over there, just in limbo, continuing. His father's out there now talking crazy and talking about this Lucas Body fight. I don't know. It doesn't sound like that fight is any closer to being done. I don't know what's going on even with that title. If they holding that WBA title for Tank Davis? Is Tank Davis a champion in recess? Has he vacated the title? Has he been stripped of the title? Is that what's holding this whole conversation up between Floyd Schofield and Lucas Body? Virgil Ortiz tied up in court litigations, in arbitration right now with Oscar De La Hoya. Once again, nothing to do with making a fight, all about stopping a fight.
Right.
Ryan Garcia, I don't even know where he's at with it. Is Ryan Garcia is he back on the Golden Boy train? Is he comfortable? Is he still trying to get out of that agreement so he can go do his own thing? And is that also, you can't help but ask yourself, I have to ask myself, is Oscar getting in the way of the Haney Garcia 2 fight?
Yeah, because he keeps going back and forth, right? Like a week prior, he said, "Oh, that's not going to happen. Why would that happen?" Then a week later, he goes, "Oh yeah, of course we're gonna." It's like, bro, which drug are you on today? Like,
yeah.
I need to know. I need to know.
Crazy.
Because Devin is sitting there, and I like how Devin's moving. But you were right about how a lot of these fighters are still it's like Stockholm syndrome with the sanctioning bodies, bro.
They are. They're gonna have to take time to wean themselves off of whatever it is.
Like Keyshawn, I think, doesn't have the syndrome,
right?
Because he won the silver medal and he was like, "Fuck them belt." Right?
Keyshawn had Terence.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Terence kind of like that whole little team,
right?
Has a little mantra about them. And you're right. Like the whole little team is like, yo, big fights, big money. Who cares about a belt? Shakur's on it. Keyshawn's on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's where he's at. And why are they doing that? Because Terence, same way Floyd influenced a generation of fighters, it looks like Terence is kind of having his era where he's influencing a generation of fighters who are not looking at the belts in the same light. They'll fight for them if it's convenient, if it's there, if it makes sense, if it makes money. Right. They'll fight for it, but they're not hanging their hat. They're not making the end all be all getting a damn belt anymore. They're about these fights.
Right. Are you starting to get a feeling that with Turkey being basically the puppet master to all of this, that he essentially took boxing and he put it in two categories? The hardcore subscription guys categories of, oh yeah, these guys are going to watch no matter what we show them, but we're going to put that all on the zone. And then this is how I'm going to roll it out so that boxing can be closer to NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. I'm going to have Paramount Plus, CBS, Dana White, and him and Nick Khan. They're going to go ahead and try to push it to the WWE fans and the UFC fans. And then that way, boxing, the sport that he loves, that Turkey loves, grows bigger than any of these other sports. Does that kind of make sense what I'm trying to say, Clay?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, like we've lightheartedly talked about this before, just about what's the bigger picture with Turkey, because he's been a point of conversation a lot, especially since 2026.
I mean, DAZN even mentioned them yesterday. Did you notice that? The president said, of course, we still, like they're still talking about Turkey, dude.
100%.
So I'm kind of like, is he, puppeteering it all? Like,
you gotta wonder what he's doing, because he's quiet. And and it's like in the back of your mind, I don't care who you are in the space, whether you hate him, love him, or somewhere in between, the major role he plays in the biggest fights happening in boxing. So whenever you see him extra quiet, you do kind of wonder where's Turkey? What is Turkey up to? What is he doing? Ramadan is just closing today, you know what I'm saying? So he should be coming out a little bit more, being a little bit more vocal. Let's see what he really is doing. But we've talked about this lightheartedly as well, as far as the strategy. Right. Is there a strategy? Is there a method to the madness that we're looking at? Is it quiet means something else? Is he? Right. I even talked to you about him funneling fighters potentially. Right. Is he starving the traditional space and kind of like, because he paid for Conor Ben to come over to Zuffa, right?
He did. It was his money, according to Mark Shapiro.
It wasn't the Paramount. It wasn't the Paramount budget. You know what I'm saying? On that, he did that.
Right.
So, yeah, how's that going to play out, and what exactly is the big picture, the big game plan for Saudi Arabia as well, just in general now as well. Another factor with this conflict in the Middle East.
Yeah.
They're in the midst of a lot of situations going on out there. So how has that affected that conversation as well? Time will tell.
Yeah. No, all I know is it's great for boxing that we're getting so much happening in the entire space right now, bro. And yeah, starting with again tonight, and then there's this weekend's fights, obviously. So do we have time to break it down a little, or who you're picking, or you're going to call the fights, right? But my question is, are you calling the littered Denny fight, or that starts at 3 o'clock your time?
If it's all about, you already know what it is, man. It's all about the schedule for me. It's all about my eyes being open. It's about you know what I'm saying. It's about that for me. Maybe for now. I'm definitely covering the evening events for sure. But as far as the earlier events, I'm not too sure. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something here real quick here.
Yeah, Leonard Denny's supposed to start at 2 p.m. Eastern for you. But it's got Giorgio Vicioli fighting Levi Giles, George Littard fighting Tyler Denny. It's a good card, man. Adam Macca is on it. Jimmy Saints is on it. This is a good little card. This is like a Zuffa boxing card. This is a good card.
What do you think about Fundora says he wants to fight Virgil Ortiz on the Canelo undercard, which I don't even understand. I don't even understand.
Look, you better make sure you beat Thurman, bro. That's I'm not trying to hate on this kid, but look, of the Fundora family, the sister is the best fighter. That's what I'm gonna say. That's look, man, I already don't like that he's number 2. How the hell did you get to number 2 anyways in Ring Magazine? I got to talk to Max Kellerman and Doug Fisher about this, because I'm like, how is he number 2, man? He beat Tim Tszyu twice. Who cares? Right? I understand.
That's what he's done. I mean, and I know people feel some kind of way when that comes up, but I mean, he's an overnight. But shout out to Sebastian Fundora, because I acknowledge the improvements he's made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see him getting better. I like the fact that he's using that range a little bit more. I like the fact that he's using those physical attributes a little more. He used to fight small. He used to fight small for no reason. But at the end of the day, it's like he did come out of nowhere, and I just feel like I haven't seen enough. You know what I mean? You come off of a Brian Mendoza, you got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Then you go right into a title fight, a unification fight.
Yeah, your defense is Chorvale Booker, bro. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing
you elbow him in the head. He bleeds out. You know what I mean? And you damn near lost that fight. A lot of people thought that some people thought that Tim Tszyu still won that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought Tim Tszyu. I mean, I could have made an argument for sure that Tim Tszyu won the fight, but
with a lot of clean shots, broke your nose, had you crazy in there.
Yeah, and when you knocked out Tim Tszyu the second time, that was after Bakram did him dirty already, bro. Like,
right?
I mean, again, I don't want to do this whole triangle theory thing, but at the end of the day, to me, the Josh Kelly win over Bakram was a bigger win than anything Fundora's done, and that's just fact. So the fact that Josh Kelly's number 6 doesn't make sense to me. And then you take a look at what Xander Zayas did, bro. What are we doing here? Like, why is Fundora? Look, Max, Dougie, Fisher, everybody, y'all gotta rethink rethink that.
Do you think it's a combination of the fact that he was unified and that he was
he dropped the belt, Clay? Like, belts. If belts begin to matter again, then you drop the belt.
Job.
All right. So if belts do matter, then there's got to be a punishment. Like, Ring Magazine's got to do a punishment for people who drop the belt. Then, if the belts are going to matter. Now, if the belts don't matter, because that's what you're saying to me. Ring Magazine, you told me that Virgil Ortiz, who's never won a world title in his life, is the number 1 guy at 154. Based on what? Based on what you're telling me, which is he beat Bochuk. He beat, who had a hell of a fight, by the way.
He didn't beat Bochuk. He didn't fight Bochuk.
No, he didn't fight. What are you talking about?
Sebastian Fundora?
No, I'm talking about Virgil Ortiz.
Oh, Virgil. Sorry.
Man, what are you talking about? I'm on the Virgil Ortiz.
I thought you talking about Fundora. My bad.
No, man, I'm talking about the fact that Ring Magazine put Virgil Ortiz as the number 1 guy, but he's never won a world title in his life, right?
But you were on the Virgil Ortiz train.
I am. I was, right? Until the Xander Zayas thing happened. Right. My point, though, is this my point that I'm trying to make is if the Ring magazine is saying based on that ranking that the belts don't matter because you're putting Josh Kelly at number 6 and you're putting Xander Zayas below Fundura, okay, then what does matter? Opponents. All right. So if you're telling me that someone who's never won a world title gets to be the number 1 guy in the division at 154, Virgil Ortiz fought Boachuk, then he fought Madrimov, then he fought Lubin. Great. How in the world then is Fundura number 2 when in the same 3-fight span he did Tim Tszyu controversial, Chordale Booker, and then Tim Tszyu after he got knocked out by Bachram? How is that number 2, dude? Xander is easily number 2 at this point. Like, move his ass to number 2, right? But I would even say drop Fundura down because Kelly should move up, right? I mean, I know people are going to hate it if I say Boots, but you're about there, dude. Boots are about at the same. Maybe you're 1 on Boots just because, but come on, man.
Boots, and that's why I'm super excited, by the way, and we can segue into the Boots, Xander Zayas potential negotiation, because Todd DeBuff did speak on that a little bit as well.
Okay.
And it seems like those negotiations are in real time happening.
Okay.
They're really close. I think that fight is going to happen.
I hope it does, bro. I hope the zone, man. Open up the paybook.
Yeah, I think Xander's pushing for it. I think Xander is excited for that fight. I think that's a fight he thinks he can win. I think he knows that Boots is 100% the biggest competition that there is in the division, and I think he's on that Terence Crawford time. I think he wants to show and prove something.
I think the way you do that contract, by the way, Xander. I know Carl Moretti knows what he's doing, but you got to put a rematch clause in there. You got to do it, man. Because Xander,
I think Top Rank would do that just to cover themselves. Because if they're nervous about it, right, and they're like, "Oh, you're killing me, champ. You're making me do this." All right, but we're gonna at least put a rematch clause in there because
you got to do it. You got to do it.
You could lose this fight, and a lot of us think you're gonna lose the fight.
Right. But, well, I mean, honestly, we don't know, right?
I'm talking about them at Top Rank.
Yeah.
Because how they feel about it. They may feel like, you know what I mean?
Because if we're looking at it and we're being very objective and we're huge Boots, I know I am. I'm a huge Boots Ennis fan. I believe he's the next Roy Jones Jr. But during Roy Jones' time, he had to run into a James Toney, right? He had to run into like these really supposed to be a really good match. And what I'll say about Xander is, even though he's 23, he would be the toughest style, I guess, that Boots could run into, just because we know what Boots is going to do to Fundura, right? Because you already saw Brian Mendoza do Fundura dirty. So I don't even want to have this conversation with anyone. Like, Boots is going to knock out Fundura. That's just that we're done. Virgil Ortiz, I'm liking Virgil more and more every day because he's fighting for what is right for him. So I'm kind of like, all right, man. Maybe I was looking at you a different way. Maybe you would actually give Boots a hard fight. But stylistically, Clay, because of Xander's height, Xander's length, Xander's the way he moves, the way he uses the jab, sounds like a 12-rounder to me. And Boots usually finishes people, but this might be one of those 12-rounders, and dare I say, this is one of those ones that if you give me a plus 1,000 to bet on Xander because he's the underdog, I just might have to do it, Clay. You're giving me too much money, man. Like, it's gotta be even money for me to bet Boots. You can't
I've been telling everybody that this is the fight to make at 154 for a while now. I've been telling everybody the fight is Xander and Boots. It's the fight. Virgil is the you're making me do this. You're making this guy my big rival. You're making this guy, I'm ducking him. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You're making it all that. So you're forcing me. I think it's going to be one-sided. I think Boots is going to really I think he's going to do Virgil bad. I just think stylistically he's a bad fight for Virgil Ortiz. Right. But it's a big fight. We can't deny it because of all of the buildup to it. So it's a fight that needs to happen. But the competitive fight, the fight that's going to give Boots an opportunity to truly separate himself and Xander an opportunity to separate themselves and go from good fighters, a lot of potential to pound for pound. I think a fight between Xander Zayas and Jerome Boots Ennis puts those guys there's an argument to put them in pound for pound conversation. Maybe I'm reaching. I mean, am I
no,
bugging?
No. I'm right there with you, because if Xander and Boots fight, winner of that better kick out Collazo, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm already upset that Jai Apataya isn't in there. I get the argument, but how is it Jai Apataya's fault when no one wants to fight him? Like how does that work for ring ranking, man? You know, like because even the people who have brought it up before, right? Like, all respect to Doug Fisher and everybody who's doing the rankings for Ring magazines, but you and I have had our private conversations about certain ways that it needs to get moved and how ranking should be. But how is Jai Apataya not on the top 10 pound for pound list when he's been the most dominant guy for the last 2 years in that division? And if people are willing not to fight you, you should get bonus points for that. Like, that shouldn't count against you. That should actually count for you, right? Because it's not your fault that fights aren't happening. But Oscar Collazo sitting at 10, right?
Right.
Xander Boots, winner of that, for sure. I'll even say it creeps up above Haney. Winner of Xander Boots creeps up above Haney. Junto Nakatani's at least fighting Inoue, and he's number 6. Benavidez. Hey, you know what? In fact, that'll be my go-to right there, Clay. Right? On the ring pound for pound, winner of Xander Boots goes above Benavidez.
Let me see here. Well, they got David Benavidez at 8, Devin at 9, Oscar Collazo at 10.
Definitely above Devin. Definitely above Devin. Yeah, if the winner of Xander Boots, like, think about it. Whoever wins between Ennis and Xander Zayas kicks Collazo out for sure. It's got to move above Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, as good of a win was the Brian Norman one is. Xander, you know, I need to see Haney Garcia, you know what I mean? Or I need to see Haney against somebody. But that one, at least it's closer. The David one, I mean, man, you know, because what's David really done? And I love David Benavidez, but really ask yourself. He beat an old Yard, he beat an old Yardy, he beat an old Vosdick, which Hot Rod knocked out, right? And then who was it? Caleb. Who was the other guy that he beat at 175?
Caleb Plant. He beat up Boo Boo Andrade. He beat,
that was all at 68, right? But he never got the Canelo fight, which isn't his fault. So he gets the bonus points for that. But at 175, what did he do?
He just did Vosdick and Anthony Yardy and David Morrell.
Morrell. Okay. That might be his best win. The David Morrell win might be his best win because he beat 2 older guys.
But with David Morrell, he was a guy who, you know, towards the end, credibility was being taken away because of the fact that David just wasn't that experienced as a professional fighter. He was like 10 fights into his career, right? Like 10 fights as a professional boxer. So, I mean, I'm not trying to take it away from him, but I'm just saying I got to agree with you 100% as far as what hasn't done yet. And that's why I put that video out the other day saying it ain't about Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev, bro, because there's going to be shots taken at that fight. Trust me. I don't care what nobody says. I know his fans are going to want to sit there and be like, oh, now you want to discredit it, bro. Dimitri Bivol is not in his prime anymore, bro. Artur Beterbiev, stop it. That man is 40 plus years old, bro. By the time you guys get in the ring with each other, it's just going to be a name on your resume. It's not going to be prime versions of these guys. The fight for David Benavidez is Jai Apataya. This is the fight, bro. This is the one.
Pacquiao of 2026, bro.
Now, that's interesting that we're sitting here talking about where do we put Jai Apataya on a pound for pound.
I would kick out Oscar Collazo right now and put Jai Apataya right there.
No, but listen, it's interesting that we're talking about that because the guy on that list, David Benavidez, is not as accomplished as Jai Apataya. You know what I'm saying? He's not as accomplished as Jai Apataya, right? But he's there. But listen, he's got momentum behind him. He's building up his star power. I get it. I ain't mad. I'm not saying throw David Benavidez off of there, but I'm going to have to double down and say, man, the fight that needs to be made is David Benavidez versus Jai Apataya. And for David Benavidez. That's your fight, bro. That's your Canelo. That's the fight. That's your Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, all in one package. That's the one right there that answers all the questions. You get in there with Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say, I'm going to give you your props for beating him and fighting him and whatever ends up happening. I just saw Dimitri Bivol, some video of him in the gym. He's looking great. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He's looking great. But they're old, bro. Daryl, Jai Opetaia is your white tiger. He's your
he's the Moby Dick. Like that's the guy, right? That's the guy you got to get.
You don't want to let him get away. You don't want him to end up in the heavyweight division, move on, and that fight doesn't happen. Don't allow that to happen. You know, like David, I hope David Benavidez can read the room a little bit better, because I know when we have plans, you want to stick to the plan, but you also need to be able to adjust. I always say this is what I give Dana White respect for, your ability to adjust to real-time data. The fight right now is Jai Opetaia, brother. It is not Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev. Don't let nobody fool you. And trust me, if you go and you fight those guys, watch what's going to happen the next day. You're going to be upset. You're going to start saying you can't please these guys no matter what you do. No, you shouldn't have fought it.
Because you're talking to people like me, David, like me and Clay. We go back and forth on this all the time. But honestly, bro, I don't want to call you that you're ducking Jai. But what I will say is you can't move up to the dude's division, right? You can't move up to the dude's division and then never fight him. like that doesn't make sense. Like that's the come on, man. What are we doing here? Like if you're doing what Roy did, moving up to heavyweight just so you can say you're the heavyweight champ, and then you're gonna move back down and be the 175 guy. You saw what happened to Roy, and Roy's our favorite dude. I'm just telling you, bro. You're just doing yourself dirty, man. If you're moving up to fight the guy that has the WBO, WBA, the guy who used to beat up in sparring, and you're gonna sell us somehow that you think us, the hardcores, not the casual mainstream fan base, are gonna somehow believe that moves you up in the ranking. It doesn't, man. It doesn't. All right. If Beterbiev fights Bivol a third time, the first two fights were so close it could have gone either way.
Right.
To me, Beterbiev is still ahead of you. You need to fight that you can't fight a yard. You can't fight an old Vosnik who just got knocked out by a hot rod. You can't fight these things, man. Even David Morrell.
Even Canelo doesn't do it for you like that anymore.
Yeah, no,
even
bro,
Canelo doesn't do it like that for you, bro.
No.
It's Jai.
Yes, Jai. You got it. Or you could stay in your division, which is cool with me. I'm good with it. I'm good with you staying in your division too.
But once you go there and fight Zurdo, once you go there and fight Zurdo and you take those unifications, bro.
Yeah,
you're literally running away from Jai Opetaia by going back down to 175 at that point.
Yeah. So don't get mad. Don't get mad if people do start saying you're ducking Jai, because that's what everybody's been doing to Jai Opetaia since 2023, bro. He's the most duck fighter, which is why I think that the Ring Magazine should have like a new ranking bonus points for people who just duck you.
Shout out to my guy Stock Chaser says Benavidez Opetaia for undisputed cruiserweight just doesn't make sense now. It makes all the sense now, bro.
Yeah,
it just does. But if you pay, look at the landscape of things. You got Jai Opetaia, who's probably going to lock in this fight with Noel. With Noel.
I hope so, unless the WBC plays games. But McCallan,
McCallan. I think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, boom, he's a unified lineal champion right there.
Right.
You going to beat Zurdo Ramirez.
But he's already the unified lineal champion, just so that you know. Because he beat the man who beat the man. So he is the
he's a lineal champion, but he's not unified.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because he only always had the IBF. Okay, I get it.
He's definitely a lineal champion for sure.
Okay. Right.
But now if David Benavidez goes and he beats Zurdo, that's right there. He got 2 of the belts. Jai Opetaia has 3 of the belts. That lineal title, that is perfect. That's what should happen. That's unification. That's a lineal champion. That's beating the boogeyman up that nobody else wants to fight. That's David Benavidez's white tiger if he can pull it off. You go back down to 175. I'm telling you that Beterbiev and Bivol fight will not age well. Watch. Remember, I told you guys. Watch.
Yeah.
You'll be fighting for them. You'll be like, this is bullshit. They don't celebrate these guys no matter what they do. But remember, Claymore and Angelo told you what's coming. It's coming your way. The criticism's coming. It is what it is.
And you guys are missing the fact that Jai Opetaia, for real, he's the Manny Pacquiao right now, right? He's getting pushed in so many. You'll probably see Jai on a WWE event coming up, but he's getting super popular, Clay. He's getting super popular. So trust me when we're telling you that if David Benavidez finds a reason to not fight Jai Opetaia after May 2nd, especially if he's holding the other 2 belts, all Jai's got to do is go on a podium on a bigger podium because there's so many more people listening to him.
I agree, Stock Chasers. I see what you're saying. I get it. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
I agree. No, but I'm telling you, man, all Jai has to do is, what am I supposed to do? Everybody's just ducking me. What am I supposed to do? I'm moving up to heavyweight to fight Usyk.
Yeah, Stock Chasers. What we're talking about is we're talking about in a situation. We're saying on the back end of a victory against Zurdo Ramirez, and if Jao Batai is able to not lock in that Noel McClellan fight, then that's a fight to make over. And what we're saying is that's a fight to make before you decide to cut weight, go down 25 pounds, go to the light heavyweight division to fight an old Dimitri. And I'm going to tell you straight up, how about this one, huh? How about this one? Dimitri Bivol is going to mess around and go to the cruiserweight division and not fight you.
Yes, and he said it too. Dimitri said it. Dimitri said he's going to fight Eifert in May. Then he's going to fight Beterbiev for the trilogy. And then he's moving up to cruiserweight anyways.
Right. So now you're going to go down to 175.
For what?
You're going to fight an Artur Beterbiev who probably is going to lose to Dimitri Bivol.
Maybe.
So you're going to be defending your WBC title. You're not going to be going for no undisputed down there. None of that. Bivol is going to use his whatever he's built for himself at 175. He's going to leverage it into the fight that you should have had, which is he's going to go fight Jao Batai.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. He's going to go fight Jao Batai.
And that's the thing is Bivol, he doesn't give a fuck. He'll fight Jao Batai. And honestly, stylistically, that's a harder fight for Jai, right? That's a harder 100%. Fight for Jai. If I'm being honest, right, and I'm a big Jai Apatow fan, as you know, Clay, I was there when he won the Zuffa boxing title. Jai is the Manny Pacquiao today, man. The Polynesian community is rocking with Jai Apatow the same way the Filipino global community was rocking with Manny. I'm telling you, bro, Bivol's harder. Bivol would be a harder fight for Jai. Benavidez, I'm sorry, man.
All right, but let's be even on the playing field, right? Because I'm right here with you, right? Okay. I'm right here with you. Is it unfair of us to give Jao Batai respect for beating Dimitri Bivol in the cruiserweight division and question David Benavidez beating Dimitri Bivol at 175?
Ooh, okay.
Now, because I'm right here with you.
I hear you. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one too.
We're going to get addressed. They're going to talk about us saying this.
Yeah,
so I'm just bringing it to the table.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If Bivol said his plan, and he's with Eddie, so Eddie's his promoter.
Right.
Bivol's plan is he's fighting Eifert in May, then he's fighting Beterbiev because of that Turkey contract, and then he said, "I'm moving up."
Right.
He didn't mention nothing about Benavidez, bro.
Not at all.
He didn't say jack squat about Benavidez. So the fact that fans who are listening to Benavidez aren't hearing what we're saying. Bro, why are you calling out a guy who's not even calling your name? Jai Apatow, on the other hand, has called your name.
Face to face, too.
Yeah, he said he doesn't care. Exactly. He said if you win, he'll fight you. If Zurdo wins, he's been trying to fight Zurdo for 2 years. It doesn't matter to Jai Apatow, right? Anyone can get it, is what Jai is saying. So how come we're not getting that same energy from Benavidez is what I was trying to ask you, Clay. But sure, man. In a fantasy world, if Benavidez beats Bivol at 175, then of course we got to give Benavidez his flowers. What I'm trying to tell you is you're never going to see that fight happen, bro. That ain't happening. Bivol, Benavidez at 175 ain't happening. Now, Benavidez, Bivol at cruiserweight might happen, Clay. That might happen at 200 pounds. But now you're back to you just duck Jai Apatow, bro. Why are you ducking Jai? Why is everyone scared of Jai? Why are you scared, bro? Scared?
Listen, man, it's I give David Benavidez so much respect because I always look at him the guy who's willing to fight the guys. Like he's shown to me and proven to me he's willing to fight the guys. I think this is just a situation where he has to assess it and be like, hold on, did things change? You know, right. David has to have that conversation. Like, did things change? In other words, is Jai the guy I'm supposed to be fighting?
Right.
Because here I am thinking that the game plan is fight Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev. These guys, Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo, you know what I'm saying? Right. I beat him, right. Undisputed. He has the other 3 belts. I got this 1 belt. That's a lineal title. That's all kinds of things. That's the game plan. That's before Jai Apatow right now, Jai Opetaia is trending.
He's
all
man,
over the
bro.
place.
He's all. I mean, look, guys. I'm telling you, you don't know, but I was there, and I'm telling you right now, the way Dana White is promoting Jai Opetaia, a promotional company that he never got with Eddie Hearn. Man, Eddie Hearn had 2 years to get this kid to be where he's at right now, and in one fight, he is like Manny Pacquiao to the Polynesian people. I'm feeling it from the Polynesian community that's pushing him. From musical groups to like he's becoming that guy, Clay. I promise you, if they keep pushing him the way they're pushing him, by the end of the year, if Jai Opetaia doesn't get these Benavidez fights, Bivol, whoever, he's moving up to heavyweight to fight Usyk, bro. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna leave them all behind, dude, because he's not waiting no more. He doesn't need to wait anymore. And Stock Chaser, no, I'm with you, bro. I am. But you know what we're trying to say is when the cruiserweight fight happens, which they're already promoting right now. It's on Amazon Prime pay-per-view and the Zone pay-per-view. When Benavidez fights Zurdo Ramirez, because they've sparred, because David was already putting it on Zurdo when they were sparring. This isn't interesting to us. It's fun, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's a 50-50 fight, bro. David's going to beat him, right? I mean, are you going to sit there and pretend like it's a 50-50 fight, Clay?
With Zurdo?
Yeah, with Zurdo.
Well, let me get this out the way. I don't think it's 50-50. I'm not going to say that, but I think it's a close fight. Listen, man, I think David Benavidez is moving fast, man. I haven't seen him dominate at 175 yet for me. I haven't seen him fight all the fights at 175 like that. I feel like he's jumping into cruiserweight. Zurdo is acclimated to the division. He's a big dude. He's athletic for the division as well. David Benavidez is a volume puncher. He brings that pressure. He does that. If Zurdo fights Zurdo, and let me tell you something, bro. This right here gives me the feelings of a Lamont Roach Gervonta Tank Davis fight in the sense that both these guys are very familiar with each other. Inside of sparring, Zurdo is free to make adjustments. He's free to be like, you know what? I know this guy. And what you've seen me do with other guys, I'm not going to do with this guy because I know this guy. And Lamont was able to show and prove that I know this guy. Yeah, I know he's nice, but I know this guy, and I just happen to know him. I'm sorry to who that disappoints. I just happen to know this guy.
Right.
And he knows me too, but this fight is different off the strength of the fact that we have that relationship. Can Zurdo leverage his size, what he's learned, who he's become, who does he evolve into since they last fought each other? So 50-50, no. I am favoring David Benavidez to win this fight.
No, for me, but
70-30? No.
Yeah, I see. Now I'm closer to 70-30, and I'll tell you why, right? My whole thing with this is there's no question, right? Coach, I know you're on the chat. Shout out to you, Coach. There's no question that David Benavidez is a superstar when we're looking at it on the eye test, right? It's almost a little bit like when we talk about Boots Ennis, and then everybody says to us, why are you guys so high on Boots? Who was Boots fought? We could do the same exact thing with David Benavidez on why, when we're talking about David Benavidez and how high we are on David Benavidez, they can say the same thing to us. Well, who's David Benavidez fought, right? We're just doing an eye test thing. So the eye test tells me this. And again, you got to go back in the factual history of things. Zurdo Ramirez was a 168 guy that didn't fight anyone, Clay. Moved up to 175, got his ass beat by Bivol, then decided to move up to cruiserweight. So what is he really? He's a blown up 168, 175 guy. David Benavidez, on the other hand, was a dominant 168 guy.
Facts.
I don't want to say he's a dominant 175 guy, but the eye test does show me he's got a lot of skills at 175. Right. So he's just fighting a guy who's the same size as him. That's it. There ain't nothing special. You guys are acting like Zurdo Ramirez is the special guy. If he's so damn special, then why has he been ducking Jai Opetaia for 2 years? Facts. That's what I'm saying. All right. So no, you're not going to have me sit there and try to be, oh, this is a 50-50 fight because this is going to be a test. Man, the only test that Benavidez is going to need to take is what is it? The diamond test for all the fucking jewelry he's gonna be buying after he beats the hell out of Zurdo Ramirez. But that no, Clay. 70-30. Don't get me going, man. No. Zurdo, you done, son. So
listen, I see all of the intangibles that you're talking about, and that's, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's why I'm sitting here saying, you know, I'm 100% favoring David Benavidez to win this fight. But I'm in a place with David where it's like he's moving so fast, some of my questions aren't being answered. Anthony Yardy didn't challenge him the way I thought he would. He didn't let his hands go. He didn't do what I thought he would do. You know what I'm saying?
But he was getting beat up by a guy who was throwing. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, yes. I don't want to take away the skills that David has. David is that good. And come on, guys, you're honestly going to tell me that Zurdo Ramirez versus Durtukos showed you how good Zurdo Ramirez was? Come on, man, get out of here. Like, what are we doing? Okay, like Zurdo Ramirez had a hard time with William Smith, bro.
What I see with Zurdo Ramirez is I see that he can be slick. I see he has some athleticism about him. I see that he has certain attributes. I see he has an acumen about him, like that, like he's coachable. Now, with all the experience he has with David Benavidez, does that experience translate over into something that can be used in an actual fight inside the ring, not a sparring match? Not sparring, even though, and David Benavidez puts a lot on sparring. He says it. He says sparring.
Yeah, no, everybody who sparred David Benavidez, including Gabe Rosado, says David Benavidez is the guy who spars how he fights.
Exactly.
Well, if he spars how he fights and he was beating your ass when he wasn't as good.
But does Zurdo spar how he fights?
Bro, again, man, name me the one fight. Just name me one. One Zurdo Ramirez win that convinces me that I should somehow take him seriously against David Benavidez. I see none of them. Dude, go ahead. Go down the list. This guy's the biggest. In fact, I'm so mad right now, Coach, right? I'm going to tell you guys, you know who Zurdo Ramirez is? He's worse than Mario Barrios. He's worse than Barrios.
No.
Because at least Barrios fought people like Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Zurdo don't want to fight no one, bro. And the only reason why he's fighting Benavidez is because he's getting paid. That's why. He knows he's getting killed, bro. He knows he's getting killed.
I mean, listen, man.
He was trying to fight Jake Paul, Clay. He was trying to fight Jake Paul over Jai Opetaia, bro. Stop it. No more respect for Zurdo. No, I'm done with Zurdo.
I don't know, man. Like I hear you. I'm acknowledging the intangibles, but I'm just saying there's something about those. It's something about those fighters who have that sparring, you know what I mean, background, who sparred a lot, from what David said, that they a lot of sparring. I don't know, man. This fight has not. David has to bring his A game and win the fight. Period.
Yeah, no. He has to win. He has to be on his A game. We're talking about A games, but that's what I'm trying to ask you is. Give me the A game that Zurdo showed.
No, I haven't seen nothing that special and significant. But I'm going to tell you that I've seen enough to say that he's fundamentally sound, A, and he's fundamentally sound, A, and B, they have that experience with each other in the ring. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know what that's going to translate into. Hold on one second. CJ Rich Boxing says, enjoy the pure boxing talk. I respect Benavidez for getting in the ring with either Opetaia, Bivol, or Beterbiev. Next, depending on how it shakes out. No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. No, that's facts, CJ. No. I mean, that's what we're saying is we respect Benavidez so much. We want to see him be like a Keyshawn. I'm willing to fight anyone, right? We just don't like this whole, like, if Bivol is someone you're calling out and Bivol's not calling you out because Bivol has his own plans. Let's not hide from it anymore. All right. If you're going to go fight Zurdo Ramirez and you're going to beat Zurdo Ramirez, that will give you the WBA, WBO title. Jai Opetaia, bro. That's the only name. Moving up and down and all this craziness, your timelines, whatever it is, man. All those sound like excuses to me on why somebody doesn't want to fight Jai Opetaia. Same excuses that Zurdo used. same excuses that so many other people use. Because Jai Pataya don't got no excuses, bro. He's trying to find the smoke, right? Eddie Hearn, what did he say? He said it's so hard to find fights for Jai, man. He can't make any money. Really, Eddie? Really?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me put this here. Hold on one second here. I like I said, man, I'm favoring David Ben. Oh, what the hell do I got going on here? Why these little things got to come up the way they coming up, bro? Come on, bro. Don't do this to me. Stop. All this extra stuff. Stop. Okay.
Trying to do all the computer stuff, guys.
Yeah. It's just you hit one thing and a bunch of other things open up. Coach Hector Bermudez, salute by the way, says Benavidez high volume, the best at layering his offense, 100%. Walked you down with both offense and defense. True. Thrives in the mid range, 100%.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing at 168. Did a really good job at 175, beating the guy who Hot Rod knocked out and an old yardie, which is great. Again, the eye test tells us it's the same when you guys are ripping me about why I like Boots so much. And I'm like, it's not like Lima sucks. And look what he did to Lima. And then, you'll have people go, oh, Lima. I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, yeah, Benavidez is great. My eye test is showing me Benavidez is awesome. Oh, but when I say, but he beat an old yard, somehow that doesn't equate to Lima, who's an actual world champion. IBO it may be, but he was the world champion for IBO. So I'm giving the same respect to Benavidez that I'm giving Boots, right? The difference, though, Clay, is Boots wanted to fight Virgil, but got in the ring with him, right? He's trying to make a fight with Xander. He's not ducking nobody, bro. Boots ain't ducking no one. So
but
I'm just saying.
Listen, to be devil's advocate from a Virgil fan point of view, man, we had a fight. We could have fought twice. This guy didn't want to fight me, bro.
True.
You know what I mean? I wanted to fight the dude. I was ready. He didn't want to fight me. He wanted to stay down there at 147.
No, you're right. Which is why I kind of pushed back a little bit now with the whole maybe Virgil is about that life because he's willing to get sued.
And then he's doing what he's doing right now. With Oscar to make the fight. So listen, man. The fight game is a crazy. The politics of the fight game sometimes translates, unfortunately, bleeds into the fighters part of it, where we're questioning the fighter's heart, and sometimes the politics overcome the fighter's wants. What he wants to do becomes something very difficult, especially when you have a promoter who's working against you and what you're trying to get done. That's just diabolical, right? When the promoter's sitting there sabotaging your fight because he don't want you to lose so bad, he's sitting there working behind your back trying to make the fight not happen, but you got to catch the hell for it. Coach Hector Bermuda says Jai has been hurt in fights before, sometimes fights in spots, low output, and I see that he can get dragged into a war. I agree with everything he just said right there. That is true. I've seen him hurt. I've seen him fight in spots. I've seen the low output at times, and I've definitely and I can see him. He gets dragged in wars. He gets hit. His instincts is a fight.
He wants to get which is why I thought the Brandon Glanton fight was such a. That's why I thought the Brandon Glanton fight was such a fun fight to watch because what have I been telling you about the pedigree of Jai Pataya? This is a guy who was 16 years old and he was the best heavyweight
what
essentially coming out, right?
What he can do and what he will do is what makes a difference.
That's what I liked about the Glanton fight because instead of turning it into a war, he stayed on that. Let me see, let me work the boxing. And he's only going to continue to improve. Again, man, like what are we talking about? Because if we're going to have that discussion, Coach, right? If you and I are having this discussion, I'm going to tell you right now that the way Benavidez fought Yard, that's not a good way based on the way Jai just fought Glanton. I mean, we're acting like Brandon Glanton sucks. Brandon Glanton would beat Zurdo Ramirez. What are we talking about here? All right, he beat the number 10 ranked guy. It's more 50-50, though. It's more 50-50 to me because Brandon Glanton, come on, bro. Brandon Glanton does not suck. He's got a style.
Zurdo
he's very tough.
That's why I gotta push back. See, that's why I gotta push back at the whole Mario Barrios comparison, because when you go into that comparison, I think it's disrespecting Zurdo too much. I think Zurdo Ramirez is a fundamentally good. I think he's a good boxer, bro. I think, listen, man, the man has one loss on his record. He has 40 fights as a professional or somewhere in that range. And he has one loss against a pound for pound fighter, unified.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. But up to that point, though, who did he fight? That's what I'm asking.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, he hasn't done nothing to go the other way either.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, that's fine. I'll go with that. But that's why, at least with Benavidez, I can go down the list of every time he showed us how good he is, right? What the eye test is, right? Come on, Coach. Now,
Coach, I put the link up there if you want to hit the link. I agree with Coach. Coach, I agree with you. I don't think Glenn is nowhere near Zerto's level, bro. I'm sorry.
No, man. I wish they would have fought. Maybe there's a reason why Zerto never fought Glanton either.
Yeah, because there's nothing to gain from it. There's nothing to
whatever.
Gain from it.
See, there we go. Now we're doing
listen, the only thing I hold Zurdo Ramirez accountable for is not fighting Java Tire. That's where I'm in agreement with you. I'm like, that there is diabolical. Right. You ain't fight Java. Go for unification, but not fighting Brandon Glenn. Nah, bro, I'm not holding that over Zurdo Ramirez's head, bro. He ain't got to fight. He ain't got to fight Brandon Glanton, bro. Brandon Glanton has to fight him. Brandon Glanton needs him. He don't need no damn Brandon Glanton. And shout out to Brandon Glanton.
Yeah, thank you, Lance. Hey, put that one up. Lance Myers, my guy. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Lance Myers.
Man. Listen, these conversations get weird because one thing shouldn't negate the other thing. In other words, me saying that Glanton is in on Zurdo Ramirez's level, I don't want that to take away from Brandon Glanton being a dog.
Okay,
being somebody who's about that life. But I'm being honest with you to say that I think Zurdo Ramirez, I think there's levels of this. And I think when we're talking about
I don't know what level you're talking about, bro. I mean, you must be talking about that Billiam Smith fight like somehow that was levels, bro. Because the way he fought Billiam Smith
above Glanton.
Oh, man. Oh, Brandon, bro. I can't wait to get you on the show, Brandon. Oh, man.
I'm sorry,
I'm defending Brandon Glanton, bro.
Brandon Glanton maybe he's suffering from the lack of activity. Maybe he hasn't developed the way he wants to develop, the way he can develop because of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Look.
But I'll tell you what, Chris Billiam Smith beat him. He beat Brandon.
Okay, let me ask you this. What was the better performance?
Beat Chris Billiam.
Okay, all right. We're doing this now.
I'm just saying, hey, bro.
Oh, man.
Bro, what do you want me to say, bro? There's levels of this. Zurdo's better. To me, Zurdo is levels of
Akeem, look. No one is called. I'm not gonna call Zurdo like he just makes me mad, bro. Zurdo makes me mad because he has so many fights and he has not fought the best people in his division, except for Bivol when he got an ass whooping. It just makes me mad, dude. It makes a former champion.
I clearly see that Zurdo Ramirez has definitely rubbed you the wrong way. Zurdo Ramirez has rubbed you the wrong way. I can tell. And I'm not mad at you either. I get it because I've been there.
Right.
I know I've been there with these fighters who just refuse to give me what I need so I can figure you out. Because I'm still trying to figure out who in the hell you are. And you're not giving me the fight. So now you're making me have to just go ahead and assume the worst. That you're scared and you're not like that. And that's why you're doing this and you're driving me to do this. So you know what? I'm going to do it for you. Like 50 Cent said, I'm going to push you over. You are on the fence with me. I'm going to put you over on the other side. Yeah. Here's where you are.
I'll tell you what. I'll get a ton of respect for Zurdo if he really goes for it with Benavidez. But if Benavidez just does him dirty, bro, I'm telling you, I'm done with him. I'm done. David,
Benavidez does Zurdo Ramirez.
No, but I need to see it to be like a fight, right? Not I'm backing away, No.
I agree with you. If David Benavidez thrashes Zurdo Ramirez, like how he did Anthony Yardy.
Yes. Now you're
Zurdo
with
Ramirez is a hype job.
Exactly. You're with me. Yeah, exactly. You're with me,
Shout out to Stock Cases for the love. Says Benavidez top yard in 7 and beat the shit out of him. That's a fact. Big facts. Shout out to my guy, Keem here in the building, man. Keem, what's good with you, man?
What's going on, guys? I'm here. I do security work. I'm here like, hold on. I gotta say something before I get back to it. I'm loving your takes, Angelo, boy. Yo, damn, that's how you feel about Zurdo?
He just makes me mad, Akeem.
He's mad
at
Zurdo.
Oh my goodness!
I'm mad at him, bro. I'm mad at him.
It's not far-fetched, but he's mad at him. You could definitely hear he's angry. He's upset at Zurdo. Zurdo, call Angelo up, bro, and figure it out, Angelo. You guys, he's got, you know what I'm saying? He's upset. He's upset because the truth of the matter
you know what took it over the top for me, Akeem? You know what took it over the top for me with Zurdo?
What's up?
During the Jake Paul event, he did a face-off with Jake Paul, bro. And I was like, what are you doing, man? What are we doing?
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say about that. Because, Clay, the first time I learned about Zurdo was Mexican Fight Night Friday. I think Navarrete was on the card. It was an amazing card. And, dude, I think he was the main card. I was like, oh, he's kind of giving me James Toney vibes because he stays in the pocket. But I didn't understand the Jake Paul move. I was like, nah, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But when Benavidez said that he'll fight him, I was like, I know why. Because Zurdo, if you watch the Bivol versus Zurdo, Bivol was dancing around him, running circles around him all night. So he got somebody that's going to stay in front of him. So he could pull the glove back and bang, pull, bang, all night. Zurdo is not gonna, Zurdo will turn him, but he's not active like that. That's why it was easy money for Bivol to beat him.
But is he skillful enough, and is he slick enough to get his shots off and use his size to tie up David at times when David wants to let him go? Can he smother David Benavidez's
David is going to get his
some
shots
opportunities
knocked
out
off
of that?
Because David doesn't have, other than him walking forward with these two, David is going to get hit. Boy.
Right. Because my thing is, David has been strong. It's hard to tie him up. When you saw Anthony Yardy try to tie him up, and you saw him like beating Anthony Yardy with one free hand. Like, he's hard to, but if because everybody's talking about, when I'm talking about the athleticism, I don't think that Zurdo is going to be able to move better than David. But will he be able to, can he use his athleticism to get positioning, tie up David, smother David? Can he push David on his back foot? Can he make David not be able to come forward the way David likes to come forward? Can he do those little things, those little intangibles? Can he maneuver around those things and force David to go in that tool bag and be like, damn, bro, this big ass mother, I can't do what I did here. I got to do something else. And if he's able to force David to make an adjustment, does that give Zurdo Ramirez an opportunity to do something special?
Zurdo can take hits. That fight that he had with Bivol, he was getting peppered, but Zurdo could have fought another 8 rounds with dude. Like, he didn't feel it. Bivol scored points. And so fighting Benavidez, if Bennett, like, that's why I said, Clay, that's why I said that thing about David Morrell. When David Morrell knocked that boy, we saw Benavidez wobble. We saw him wobble like, whoa. And if Zurdo hits him like that, Zurdo's going to hit him like that a few times, because that's Zurdo likes to bang in the pocket. He don't mind getting banged up. It's Benavidez going to move in and out the pocket, because that hit is going to come from Zurdo. And how many of those can he take it? And are we going to go to 12 rounds? Because if we go to 12 rounds, Clay, like you said, man, it's going to be funny money. It's going to be a dice roll. It's going to be like, yo, unless they do the A-side thing, you have to prove in grand fashion that you beat the champion. For him to take the belt, like, it could go down to a dice roll, because Benavidez is banking on a knockout, and Zurdo probably want to take him the distance and just beat his body up.
What do you think about that? What I said about the smothering and the tying up and the
look, man.
Can you bring these elements? Come on, man.
I'm gonna ask Akeem a question. No, I want to ask Akeem a question, man, because Akeem he's bringing up a lot of good points. But let me ask you this question, Akeem. So Bivol fights the way Bivol fights, right? We're looking at a very good Russian style. He understands that amateur background too, right? So I don't fault anyone for fighting the style that they fight, right? Did you watch Jai Apataya just fight Brandon Glanton? Did you see that fight, Akeem?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
now hold on. Now, the way he was moving in boxing like that, do you not believe that Jai would have just done that? The same thing that Bivol did to Zurdo. You don't think Jai would have just did that to Zurdo, except the difference would have been he might have knocked out Zurdo because he hits a lot harder than Bivol, bro. Jai Apataya hits a lot harder.
And that's what. Hold on, let
Akeem answer this too. You see what I'm saying? Why I think Brandon Glanton is better than the way some people make him sound, dude. I rock with Brandon Glanton. Like I'm like,
yeah. Those are heavy. He has some heavy hands on him. Yeah, I don't know if when you put it like that, I don't know if he can take if.
Oh, did we lost you? We lost you, Akeem. We lost you.
This is why I need in the building. You're quiet. Hold on, Coach. Hey, Akeem, hold on for a second, man. Hold on for a second.
This is Coach Hector Bermudez, Akeem.
Help me out here.
What's good?
Help me out.
What's good with you?
Help me out, Coach. By the way, I see you busy. By the way,
you got Yoeli Hernandez. You got
I got somebody in the undercard of. I got one of my special fighters. A lot of them don't have my heart, right? A lot of them I just whip them to the finish line. This kid here I got to be careful with him because I like him, and I don't like when I like fighters.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
But I like him because he's such a hard worker. He doesn't complain, and he's like, you just got to be you got to look out for him for his own good.
Okay. So who is
in
this
that
kid?
position? He's an Olympic bronze medalist. He's a little guy, right? He's 118. We're fighting. We just got put on the card because Tejas got pulled out. So I talked to Tejas manager.
Oh no!
Yeah, I talked to Tejas manager, and I was like, "Yo, if Tejas got pulled out, and he fighting on the 28th now with Brian Mendoza, so put this guy in," and they did it. And he's gonna come.
So who's the kid, Coach? Who's the kid that we're looking at? Alcantara. Junior Alcantara. Who's he fighting on the 28th?
I don't know. Some Filipino guy that we're gonna beat his brains.
Oh, why are you doing me like that? Why are you doing me like that, man?
You talking about is he a bantam?
Yeah, he's bantamweight, 118 pounds.
Yeah. No,
Junior Alcantara.
Last minute.
Okay, so last minute opponent. Why are you doing me like that, guy?
No, he's not even Filipino. I think he's Mexican.
Okay, all right. But they took out Tejas and Brian Mendoza. That's sad. That sucks.
No, but they put him on. It's not Sunday. Now they the co-main event on next week. Okay.
So Yoeli still fighting though, right? Yoeli Hernandez is still fighting Terrell Shaw.
Yeah, it's gonna be Yoeli. It's gonna be Tejas, and then the skyscraper there.
Who's the skyscraper? Sebastian.
Yeah.
Towering Inferno might get clipped. He might get clipped, man. Who knows? But look, coach. David Benavidez.
First of all, I never win on debates on this channel. It's home court advantage. It's crazy here. I never win. Every time I come on here, I can have the strongest points and get a draw.
You're talking about the hangout spot, Coach. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Here we listen to you when you're making good points. I'm just saying, man, you're not going to get me on the Jai Apataya point because everybody's scared of Jai, Coach. And you went to Australia. You know Jai Apataya is the man. Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, but he's a man, but he's got more grooming to do, man. I'm sorry to say.
I agree. I agree.
I like the guy. My heart goes out to him because of how the IBF did him. They did him dirty, and it's still, even after they did him dirty, I still felt that he still wanted to be a part of them, and it's like a girlfriend that cheats on you and you still want her, you feel bad for that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, she cheated on you. You can move on, man. But he still wanted to be with her. So, you know, you got to feel for him. You know? But
when you see her out in town, you be like, yo, you doing my guy dirty. That's crazy. Look at you out here, man. I ain't going to tell him. Because I don't even want to be the one to tell him. But this is crazy. You disrespectful.
Indeed. What's my man's take, man? I know my man got to go to work, he said, right?
Keem.
Oh, Akeem.
Keem, you're muted.
You're muted, Akeem.
And you're not muted on the app. When talk. Yeah, you're just not. We just can't hear you. Nope.
Might be his headphones.
While he's figuring that out, Coach, because we're about to go soon. I'm not going to stay up too much longer. I just really
all right.
want
We got to go.
this
So David Benavidez definitely he has a deeper, more proven body of work. So I'm gonna try to say things and try to see my mind because there's recollect things, so we don't have to argue.
Okay.
Right. So we can all agree on that he has a deeper, more proven body of work than Jay, right? Obataia. We all could agree on that. And can we agree? I don't know if we could agree on this. Can we agree that Zurdo is better, more accomplished than the opponent any opponent that Obataia has
No, not at all, Coach, because Marius Bredes would have killed Zurdo. And Jai Opataia fought Marius Bredes with a broken jaw, won the IBF, then they straight stripped him from it. He knocked out Zorro in one round with one punch, and then he came back and beat the shit out of him again in a hell of a fight at Riyadh. No, Coach, Zurdo is ass. All right, like if we're gonna go that way,
remember who Zurdo beat? Because my guy here said he mentioned. I think he mentioned Smith, right? Clay?
Yeah, Christian Billiam. Yeah.
Now Chris Smith,
CBS.
He came from. Remember, he beat, which Lawrence Okolie is a complete monster to deal with, right? He's like an octopus. He's hard to deal with. And then he fought an undefeated guy, and then he fought Zurdo. And then he beats Brandon Glad.
See, I don't like when you do that, Coach, because I rock with Brandon Glanton. I rock with Brandon, man. Like Brandon Glanton would put hands on people. He would put hands on people at the cruiserweight division.
My man Claymore got to go, so we got to sum this up, right? So remember who Zurdo beat. He beat that guy that beat all those guys.
That's the triangle theory, Coach, and you don't.
That's all we got. Let Coach cook, though.
So it's like that cartoon character that when you beat somebody, you take on their superpower. So remember that he beat all those guys, and then guess what? Zurdo beats him. And then guess what? Who Zurdo also beat? You don't know this guy. I don't know if you know this guy. Gulumarian. I trained a guy for a world champion by the name of Riyad Murray. We went and fought Gulumarian in France, which he's huge population there that came to see him fight. That guy's a complete beast of a man, yo. He's a monster cruiserweight guy. Him right there, look, 27-1. Who beat him? Well, you went past it.
Right here. He lost to Gilberto Ramirez, beat him.
Unbelievable. He loses to Ramirez, right? The same Ramirez that you're not trying to give credit to. That in 49 fights, he lost one, right? And then after that, he beat Smith, and then he beat Dorticos, I think, right? Am I right?
Right.
Dorticos is like 82 years old, Coach, when they fought last year.
Dorticos was he was a WBO champion. So
not last year.
We got to get him out the way. So definitely you can't say that he would have lost to anybody that Opatai beat, had beaten in the past. I think Zurdo is the guy, even though my guys because you guys are Zuffa people. This channel is like the Zuffa spot.
What we are is a boxing spot, and everybody hates the fact that we've been right about.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad.
We are a boxing. I'm just trying to
Zuffa.
tell you the truth, Coach. Every channel you've been on always hates on Zuffa. We were the only ones that was fair about Zuffa, where we kept saying, "Just watch and see what they do."
So I know the momentum that Opatai is having. You guys is. I know you guys is liking it, but right now. Because they haven't fought, because they haven't fought, what do we do then? Right?
Right. I agree.
We have to see the eye test. We got to see who fought who, and then we have to argue about stuff like that. But let's be real. Brandon Glanton is a solid fighter, but he's not elite.
Coach, he was in the top 10. He's in
not
the top
elite
10.
Though, Angelo. I'm sorry.
So what do you
just
think
not.
about
I keep saying. I agree. He's just not, bro. Like he's
How
good.
do you think that goes?
But he's just not. He's not.
Go, Akeem. What was your question? What was it? What's your question, Akeem?
Keem, can you hear us? Oh, Keem got the bad connection, bro. He can't even hear us now.
Yeah.
But Zurdo is a proven champion. He's been a champion at multiple weight classes. Am I right? Was he a champion at?
No, he wasn't a champion at 168, Coach. He was
at light heavyweight. He wasn't.
There, let me look it up and let me make sure.
Anyway, it really doesn't matter. He's a proven champion, very high level operator. You gotta give him that. And those levels of competition, it matters.
Right.
Benavidez about to fight a real guy. It may be the guy at cruiserweight, even though now Opatai is that people lose. They got. I think Claymore can help me with the word like. They forget the past. Just because a fight just happened, they just all over that fight.
Right.
But that's not my argument, though, Coach. No.
Wait, hold on, Andrew. Wait. I understand what you're saying, right? And because I am a person who subscribes to the idea of until you do it, I can't call it. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to use the eye test, and I'm going to say all these different things, right? But at the end of the day, until it happens, it doesn't happen. And I think sometimes people do that. I don't know what the proper word is to describe that, but people 100% see a fighter's best moment and feels like he's arrived. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this guy's arrived. He's unbeatable. And I think that's all fair play to a certain degree, but without a doubt, nothing replaces the fight. Nothing replaces it actually happening. There's nothing that actually makes that happen. Jao Pataya, what you said earlier about him being hurt before, him being dragged into fights, I agree with all those things. It's the same thing I say about an Abdullah Mason, who I have in high regard, but he gets pulled into fights. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him get knocked down, and he needs to work on these things. David Benavidez has not. The closest thing I've seen him to him really being hurt was when David Morrell clipped him. Like, I've seen him get knocked down before, but David Morrell looked like he hurt him for a moment there. For the most part, he seems unstoppable on multiple levels, but he's giving up the size difference to me as he's moving up in these weight classes. He's gone to 175. I haven't seen the power translate. He beat the shit out of Anthony Yardy, but I haven't seen the power really translate the way it was at 168. Now he's going to 200. So I don't know how the power translates up there. It's going to become more of outscoring, being faster than Zurdo Ramirez, who I think has the IQ and the acumen to use all that experience they have with each other to adjust in a way that makes this fight more competitive than I think people think it's going to be. I think Zurdo can make this fight dirtier. I think he can smother a lot of what David Benavidez wants to do. And I think there's a chance we're going to see David Benavidez on his back foot on this fight. I don't know. Possibly. Maybe even forced on his back foot. Even if it has to be a physical, like, I'm going to tie you up and push you back. I'm not going to allow you to do that thing you did to Anthony Yardy to me. I'm not going to sit you. You're not walking me down and just doing that to me. It's going to be dirtier than that, I think, with him.
Yeah, and Coach,
one thing I got to give myself credit for is that I trained Benavidez, and I'm not being biased. And when he was with me, he was at 175. And when he came into camp, I was like, hold up, you can make 168, buddy.
Right.
He's
Right.
like, no, we can't. I was like, yes, you can. You're eating Dunkin' Donuts and shit after the gym. You can make 168.
No,
So
but
that's when they went down. They listened and they went down to 68. He became the youngest world champion. Anyhow, Benavidez is moving up to fight Zurdo. That whole program that he's gonna do, you might see something. This might be confusion because this was confusing to me when Crawford did it. You look at Crawford when he fought at 154. Was it 154 against Martinez, right?
Martinez, yeah, 154.
And then you're like, how the fuck this guy gonna go up all the way up to fight Canelo? Right? But you use stepping stone fights to get your body there. And don't confuse just because you're gonna see Benavidez struggle a little bit with the weight with Zurdo, because Zurdo's a big boy. Even though he's coming from a lower weight class, he's a big boy. And he's gonna get acclimated. What I'm scared of, he thinking he's gonna go back down to fight Bivol. I would like him to just keep going up to heavyweight. I'd rather see him do that than anything else. But now when you see that and then you see him fight Obataia, because I promise you, Benavidez is a monster for real. He don't duck anyone. So what I'm arguing here is that I'm not really the resume thing, right? I think it's about depth. I think you gotta see Caleb Plant. You gotta see he's a beautiful boxer, a better boxer than Obataia. Boo Boo Andre. Sheesh. Who's a better boxer than Boo Boo Andre? That is crazy how he ran through my guy. I mean, I love Boo Boo. I get a chance to see him and work with him. And who else did he get out of there?
That was a slick boxer, or just anybody?
Yeah, just a slick, or that. Yeah, that's a slick boxer.
David, slick boxer. Not really a lot of slick. I mean, most of these guys try to bang.
Remember, he got Anthony Durrell, right? He got him about it twice, right?
But are there arguments there to bring up about those fighters and say that he was also being called a weight bully in those divisions? And I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying he always seemed to have a physical, he had leverage in those fights. And it seems like that's gone now. The physical leverage, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he had those attributes that helped him not to look past
whatever he did. That's not against the rules, is it?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But what I am saying is, even though it's not against the rules, but it's a factor in the fact that now he gives that up. Now it's straight up skills. Can a fighter like Zurdo Ramirez, who's not, I don't think he's trash. I think he's a good fighter, bro. You just listed a whole bunch of attributes that reinforce the idea that he's a good fighter. Can those physical attributes not being there be the intangible for a Zurdo Ramirez? Can Zurdo Ramirez take advantage of a fighter who may even be too comfortable being the monster? That whole monster name they've given him doesn't seem to apply anymore. He's no longer the monster in that way anymore for what he got the name for, which is towering over and just being a dominant presence. Like the Canelo Alvarez said, you bring 25 pounds to me on that night, acknowledging the size difference. And I know you just want to, take advantage of that. He don't got that no more. Does that count in the conversation with him and Zurdo Ramirez?
Yeah, but these guys from Australia, they don't know how to fight in a pocket like that. They don't know how to use their weight. And he's not going to learn from one fight to another. You see him, I think, let me say, if Obataia wins, if he beats Benavidez, it would be, how would he beat him? He would beat him through controlled distance and angles, right? He would counter Benavidez when Benavidez has his entries. I could see Obataia countering that. he definitely got to keep the exchanges short, right? And make Benavidez keep constantly resetting himself. Basically is make Benavidez reach and miss and make him pay for it. That's how he would win. He would never win on weight bullying Benavidez because he don't know how to do that. He didn't know how to do that when Glanton was having success is when he broke down, I don't know if it was low blow, whatever. There was a little bitch in there. I'm sorry to say. He was folding a little bit. He wasn't that focused that he didn't let something bother him. I'm sorry. What's my man's name? Little Asian guy. So I'm sorry that he had a little bitch in him. I ain't never see Benavidez have no bitch in him. I'm sorry. I just gotta say that. So he don't know how to weight bully anybody. So it's gonna be skill on skill.
Yeah. And, so coach.
And at the end, did you see Glanton like, nah, fuck that. I'm ready to fight.
Look,
man, Benavidez smoke that man up out that ring, man.
Coach, it's always fun to have these conversations with you, but I'm going to go full circle. The original conversation that me and Claymore were having.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. The original conversation me and Clay were having was about the fact that your boy, David Benavidez, said he's going to go up to 200 and then he's going to go back down to fight people that never even said his name. Right? Bivol never said, I want to fight Benavidez next. Bivol said, I'm going to fight Eifert, then I'm going to fight Beterbiev, and then I'm moving up to 200. That's what Bivol said. So the conversation me and Claymore were having is, if David Benavidez wins the WBA and the WBO, and then decides to, whatever the reason is, decides to not fight Jai Opetaia, it's going to be very difficult for people like me and others to not act like, well, David, seems like you didn't want to fight the guy who everybody's trying to avoid, including the guy you just beat. Now, we never had a conversation of, well, if Jai and David fights, who would win? Because I don't even think it's going to happen. I think David's going to do what David's going to do. But I promise you, Coach, nobody wants to fight Jai Opetaia. The reason why Jai Opetaia is going to survive and thrive at Zuffa is because they're going to be forced to have to fight Jai Opetaia, right? But if you're going to tell me that a guy who won a world title against the Ring Magazine lineal Super Series champion in Marius Berridis with a broken jaw, and you're going to call him bitch moves? Nah, Coach, I'm not hearing that about Jai Opetaia. I'm not hearing that about Jai Opetaia. If nothing else, let me tell you something right now. You know who the bitches are, Coach? You know who the bitches are, Coach? The same MFN bitches that you're talking about are the ones who don't want to fight Polanco. Because you know I rock with Polanco. And you know I defend Polanco.
I forgot about the broken jaw.
But that's what I'm saying is people talk about Jai Opetaia like he's a nobody. The reason why Jai Opetaia even got stripped the first time, which was ridiculous, is because he had a chance to fight in Riyadh. Then what did he do? He didn't run away from the belt. He went right back to it. He was like, no problem. I'll fight for it again because it doesn't matter because I'm the best in my division. So David is going to be the visitor of the division. If he's visiting and then he's going back down to 175, I don't know what to tell you about your guy, Coach. I don't know what to tell you about your guy.
Well, I will say this. I know Claymore got to get up out of it. Let me just say this to that point. And I'm glad you brought the broken jaw up. Even though he got a jaw broken by a guy that was already kind of over the hill. He was pretty old at that time.
Not at that time, though, Coach. At that time, when he fought Breidis the first time, that was 2020, right? He had just won the Super Series. So not at that time. If you want to talk about the second time, we can have a conversation about the second time. But the first time they fought,
time that he broke his jaw, or the second time?
The first time is when he broke his jaw. And he had just beaten Dorticos and that whole Super Series thing. So he wasn't old when they fought the first time, Coach.
Okay, listen. First of all, Opetaia doesn't dictate the sport, right? He doesn't have that much momentum to dictate anything. So I agree.
I agree.
I would say that when you don't question the guy's willingness when he's already fought names like Plant, Boo Andre, and Darrell, and was been trying to fight Canelo. His willingness shouldn't be in question, right? I think what people would get wrong is if he moves back down after fighting Ramirez, I wouldn't say that's not ducking to me. I think that's probably weight management and career strategy. Like I said, Obitaya doesn't dictate, but remember Benavidez has already shown he's willing to fight anyone.
Yeah,
he's done that his whole career.
We were giving him all that respect, Coach. We're talking about the fantasy idea.
But you're saying that if he moves down after fighting Ramirez, that
when Bivol doesn't, that never even mentioned his name, Coach. That's what I'm trying to tell you is it's one thing if Bivol said, "Hey, after I fight Eifert."
I don't think he would. A lot of people are saying how soft he was. He would. Benavidez isn't. He's not like a street. His brother's like a street kid. His brother's
a street kid. Yeah,
he's a motherfucker. He's a street kid. But Benavidez is not. He's a really nice guy. He's a killer in the ring, but outside the ring. And I seen people giving him slack because he shook Obitai's hand, and he will give all the respect to fighters that are world champions. No, he's a gentleman, man.
Yeah, and we rock. And Coach, we rock with David. We talk about how great David is.
He's gonna chase the biggest fight. It means that whatever fights that he go, if he have to go back down to fight somebody like Beterbiev or Bivol, or I think he's just chasing the biggest fights. And if it's Jay Opataya at the time, then I think it's gonna be him. He's never gonna duck someone that's just gonna move around and try to set him up for the backhand with a step back. That's gonna get old within a 12-round fight. He doesn't have layer to his offense to fuck with somebody like Benavidez. At this point in time, I think he should get a USA coach so he could teach him all, how to fight on the inside and at the different ranges. But right now he got a broke pendulum that Glatton was able to get to later on, and he just ran out of time. He just wasn't that talented.
That's rough, Coach. You're really hard on Jai when Jai completely dominated Glanton, who is a really tough style.
But there is a coach's eye.
No, but I know, but I understand.
A little bit of him,
I understand, Coach. But if it
was Benavidez.
No, I get what you're saying, Coach. But listen,
especially in the middle round.
Are you going to take away the fact that during that whole time of his training camp, one of his best friends, who was one of his coaches, dies? The IBF's playing games with him. The whole time, this kid just stayed focused the whole way, did the job that he needed to do against the number 10 ranked Ring Magazine champion. We're talking about a guy who won a world title with a broken jaw against the guy who was the man, who was the best, right? So when we're talking about mental attitude, mental fortitude, mental toughness, all that, I agree that can he get better at 30 years old, Coach? Yes, he can. But I'm not going to sit there and hear anyone try to tell me that people like Zurdo Ramirez is mentally tougher than Jai Opataya, right? And I've done nothing but give David Benavidez his flowers. All we're trying to say is, I promise you, Coach, after May, the biggest fight for your guy, David, is either going to be stay at 200 to fight Jai Opataya, or hopefully, I guess, if Bivol doesn't fight Beterbiev, they could try to make a fight like that happen, because Bivol would be a big fight for him. So I agree with you that David's going to chase the biggest fights. Totally. All I'm saying is, if Bivol does what Bivol says he's going to do, which is to fight Eifert, then fight Beterbiev, there's no way Jai Opataya is waiting for Benavidez. He's moving up because he's trying to get at Usyk before Usyk retires, Coach. And that's the guy I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with a guy where the entire Polynesian population in the world is rocking with Jai Opataya like he's Manny Pacquiao. I'm rocking with a guy who broke his jaw and still fought. I'm rocking with a guy who, even when they were trying to mentally fuck him, he still did the job and beat a guy in Brandon Glanton who Christian William Smith maybe won 7, maybe 8 rounds against them when they fought, right? The same Christian William Smith who had a hard, good fight with Zurdo. And I believe that Zurdo would get killed by Jai Opetaia, which is why Zurdo never fought him. But if we're talking David versus Jai, that's going to be a different conversation. That's all I'm trying to say. But this is not going to be the platform where we try to say my guy Jai Opetaia shouldn't be on the pound for pound list. I'm sorry, Clay. We're just not.
So respect to Opetaia for Jay. When Yo-Yo Hernandez just his last when he fought the kid at what's his name, the kid from Philly or from Jersey, wherever he's from.
Wait, who?
Yo-Yo Hernandez. He fought his fight, his trainer, Breadman, which I really like. I really like
Kyron. Was it Kyron?
Kyron Davis.
Yeah.
So when Yo-Yo fought Kyron Davis, right? Breadman was like, well, we got to check. We got to. He brought up some steroid stuff, and that really like took us aback. Like, what? Oh, you got to. And he said something about his neck. Now I'm not. I was like, ooh, me as a trainer, I have to reach in my bag to motivate my fighter. I got to use anything I can to motivate. So then I go back to, we're in training, and as he's training, he's hitting the bag, and I'm talking to him. I'm breathing life into him, and I'm telling them they think you on steroids. They think you cheating. But look at you working hard. Look at you hitting the bag. Look how you running. Look how you sparring. Look how hard you're working. And this is just motivating him. So why do I say that? I say that so wherever adversity that Opetaia have, whether it's this or that or injury this, it doesn't matter because it could not hurt him. It could make him a better fighter. It could give him that push that he needs. A lot of fighters go through difficult camps, but we don't hear about it. But I give him respect. You know, he overcame all that stuff, like you said. That matters as a fighter. But in boxing, we measure greatness. We measure greatness by who you beat.
Okay, if you measure greatness by who you beat, hold on, Coach. If you measure greatness by who you beat,
hey Claymore, this is why I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Let him cook. Let him cook, Angel. Let him cook.
Clay, I've had one thing, and Coach kept going on and on and on.
Just let him cook though, because I'm digging. I'm seeing where he's going, and I'm.
All right, go.
I want to
finish the point.
I can't wait. This is what happens when I come on here, Clay. Y'all both beat me up. I'm glad. I'm
over here fighting. I'm over here trying to open it up so you can cook.
Yeah. I'm glad that Clay understands how much of a beast Benavidez is and has been. Remember, Benavidez was the youngest world champion at 168. And he's been a champion like his whole life, basically.
Yes, Coach. I don't know when you heard me say Benavidez sucked. I don't know when you heard me say it.
He's not saying that, but let him cook because he was going somewhere that I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if that's where he's going, but I'm in agreement so far with what he's saying because I think this is a truth about these type of conversations where it ends up being. But go ahead, Coach. The greatness. How do we judge the greatness? You said the rest. You go ahead.
No, but I just said I want to finish it by saying that because I got to give respect to. I forgot about the broken jaw. Even though I'm telling you that Glanton was a bad boy. He pushed the heart of Opetaia, and I seen in the middle rounds to end and towards the end of the fight, I seen that. Oh my God! If that was Benavidez. That he would have been in a lot of shit if that was Benavidez. I kept looking at the fight and I kept seeing the same moves. Like you don't have layers yet. You just athletically you're a beast. His DNA, he's a beast. He's strong, right? He has that amateurish pendulum style. But man, when someone know how to box going forward, not brawling, but you're boxing going forward with offense and defense. Oh man, no way. He ain't ready for that. The only thing that he will have in his favor that I don't think he knows how to do is to learn in the training camp that he's going to fight Benavidez, to learn how to use his weight. And hopefully by the time that he fought, the training camp that he got for Zurdo, the training camp that he's going to have for Opataya, hopefully that his body still has yet to accumulate. Remember when Andre Ward moved up to fight Kovalev? He had a couple of fights there first before he fought Kovalev. You need that. That's a smart move. So then when he got into with Kovalev, he was ready. Hopefully that's what my guy Benavidez will do. And I know you question everything he had in camp, but all that could fuel you to be better. And that's why I said respect to Opataya from overcoming all those setbacks that he had in camp. At the same time, I mean, I would say that matters, but in boxing, the measure of greatness is by who you beat. And Benavidez definitely has done the higher level of beating and more consistent throughout the years. I'm not going against you, Angelo. I ain't going against you. I ain't going against Claymore. I'm just saying that Benavidez is the better fighter by far, not even close. The only thing that Opataya had is the weight. That's it.
Okay. So, Coach, again, I repeat, guys, the conversation was never who's better, Jai Opataya versus David Benavidez. That was never me and Clay's conversation before Coach even jumped on. We never even talked about if Jai fought David Benavidez, what would happen. So everything the coach said, you can all agree with it. That's fine. But that wasn't the point of conversation. The point of conversation was two things. Number one, if he does win the WBA and the WBO, why would it make sense to go back down to fight someone who doesn't want to fight you, who never even said your name? And number two, Jai Opataya, who is the Ring Magazine and the best cruiserweight in the world and has been for the last 2.5 years now, is not waiting for David Benavidez. He is moving up to heavyweight. That was the whole point we're trying to make, Coach. That was it. As far as what you're saying, in order for you to be the hold on, no. What I'm insinuating is in a fantasy world, when this whole thing happens, that's what me and Claymore were talking about. Is well, let's see what he does. But I'll tell you who has been ducking Jai Opataya, Zurdo Ramirez. And everyone else who really doesn't want to fight Jai, they don't, Noel McCallan at least wants to fight Jai. So I like that. That's great. And just to add to your point, when you were sitting there and you were saying, yes, Coach, you're right. In boxing, the way you find out if you're the best is if you fight the best. I agree with you. So there's only 5 Ring Magazine champions. One of them happens to be Jai Opataya. I'm just saying. It's not his fault when other people don't want to fight him, Coach. He's the best at cruiserweight. And there's no argument anyone's going to make about that. He would destroy CBS. You just saw what he did to Glanton. Name all of them. What, Rob Zafar? What's Rob Zafar going to do against Jai Opataya? Name me anyone in the top 10. Jai Opataya is here for it, Coach. So, no, I'm not going to hear any, Jai. Yes, can Jai get better, Coach? Yes, he can. And that's why he's trying to chase Usyk. That's what he'd like to do. He's not even really trying to chase Usyk, the name. He's just trying to get up for greatness, which is what he wants. And that's the type of fighters I want to rock with, Coach. People who want to go for greatness, not people who find it convenient to drop a belt like Fundura because he didn't want to fight whoever was up for the WBO, right? I'm here for people like Xander Zayas, who actually is willing to fight Boots Ennis. Like that's what's happening in 2026 boxing. And with Top Rank now being a part of the zone, Coach, I really hope Rohan Polanco finally gets his flowers, because that's a bad boy right there. He's kind of in my Jai Opataya list. People are just scared to fight Rohan. I mean, I know I get shit for it all the time, but whatever. I don't care. I know what Rohan can do. I've seen the sparring. I've watched some of his stuff that's out there on the YouTubes. Rohan's the real deal. I hope Brian Norman fights him, but that probably won't happen, Coach. Probably won't happen. Probably won't happen.
No Fundora slander. Angelo, leave him out of this, bro. Listen. At the end of the day, it's about the fights being made. David Benavidez is a fighter. I think David Benavidez is a better fighter than Jai Opataya.
Can I say that he keeps saying that Zurdo was ducking
He has been, Coach. Zerto was would rather. Yeah, he's been ducking.
So the ducking part is a little has me a little perplexed because it has a definition to it, right? Which means you're
mandatory. Go ahead, Coach.
The definition is that he doesn't want to fight him. This is, and people get caught up like this is a sport. This is a business, right? And the business makes more sense where I could go over here and make more money.
Yeah.
Versus going over here.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're specifically talking about the benefits.
Angelo, let him cook. Go ahead.
Because ducking means you're avoiding risk or easier fights. I think he's going to make a lot more money with Benavidez, and that was under the table talked about a long time ago before it came out to the public and before J.O. Bataya got this little publicity run. It was already talked about that he's going to Benavidez.
I agree with you. Coach, you're not going to have me disagree with you. I agree with you on everything you're saying about Benavidez versus Zerto being the bigger fight. That's not the point I'm making. 2 years ago, they could have made a fight happen, and they didn't.
It's a bigger risk anyway.
He's going to lose to Benavidez anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Stylistically, physically, right? Benavidez, huge pressure fighter and a volume nightmare.
Coach, you're not going to get an argument about that.
Hey, Clay, I can't finish a point.
No, let him cook, bro. Let him go.
I'm not even arguing with him.
I know,
he's just circling the same thing over and over again.
He's not. He's about to go somewhere else, and I can hear it. You're not hearing it. I don't know why you're not hearing it, but let him go because I know what he's going. It's about the ducking. It's about the idea of boxing. It's about the business.
I know,
of boxing.
but okay, Coach.
So hold on, wait, because we're saying that Zerto Ramirez. You're saying that Zerto Ramirez is. I believe it too, right?
In 2024 and in 2025, he was ducking Jai Apatite.
Okay, that's cool.
Argue me that point.
Listen,
in those 2 years, he was ducking him.
It's not about arguing a point. It's about making a point. He's trying to make a point, not necessarily argue a point. The point he's about to talk about, which I'm lightweight in agreement with. I'm there with you because I know the ducking word gets used very loosely. So we have to get into what this is. The ducking, what is it? Is it ducking or is it good business? So is it chess or checkers? Go ahead, Coach.
Ooh, nice. It's definitely chess because choosing that fight, choosing to fight Benavidez over anyone else, that's definitely you have to see that's not ducking. It's choosing a different high risk challenge, right? I think is a high risk anyway. And boxing, I'm sorry to say to people that think is a sport, professional boxing is a business. Fights happen based on timing. Fights happen based on networks, on belts, money, not just who the fan or who Angelo want to fight next, right? And I'll say peace on that. Now you could, go ahead.
All right, hold on. Before you go, Angelo, now let me say this, right? Because
you want to clean it up for Coach so that you can understand where I'm coming from?
Angelo's going to say that before this fight came up, that there were opportunities there for Zerto Ramirez to fight somebody who's calling him out, another champion in the division, the lineal champion in the division, to unify and go for something greater, right? Before David Benavidez was announced. But to your understanding, Coach, this was in the works for a long time, even before we knew about it or before something was said. Here's where I am with it, right? The business of the sport said that Zerto Ramirez and Oscar De La Hoya, more importantly, in my opinion, understood that they needed to protect Zerto Ramirez's status because of the underlying fact that we've got a fight that we're negotiating in the background. We're waiting on David to do the things he needs to do, fight Boznik, right? And then once David Benavidez realized that Canelo Alvarez wasn't going to fight, wasn't going to happen, David Benavidez started to take more control of his career and started to move forward in negotiating future big fights, which was going to be the winner of Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. But because of that trilogy situation, once again, David Benavidez had to pivot. What was the pivot? Oscar De La Hoya and Zurdo Ramirez, a fight that he saw after Zurdo Ramirez won and became a unified champion. At that moment, David Benavidez understood we're going to make our way up to the cruiserweight division and make that fight happen. At that point in time, Jai Opetaia is floating around waiting on Zurdo Ramirez. At the same exact time, Jai Opetaia is waiting for for Zurdo Ramirez to beat Christian Billion Smith to become a unified champion, to now be like, all right, let's come together. At the same time, though, David Benavidez put his cards into play with Oscar De La Hoya to say, oh, he just picked up a unified championship. Bivol and Beterbiev is going to go do a trilogy. I want that fight. At that moment, Oscar De La Hoya decided we're going to do whatever we have to do to make it to the David Benavidez fight. In that being said, I don't think Zurdo Ramirez ducked Jai Opetaia. I think that he knew very early that the business decision was to make the bigger fight with a more dangerous fighter. In a lot of arguments with a David Benavidez, business was done there. So I'll fall back a little and I'll say he hasn't been ducking Jai Opetaia. I won't say he's been ducking him. I think at the end of the day, business is what it is, but that also makes an argument for Zuffa boxing and what it presents, which is fighters don't get out of fights because of good business and bad business. You fight the next guy up, you fight the fight that makes sense. We're on a mission here to find out who the best fighters in the world is, and the only way we figure that out is when the best fighters fight the best fighters in the division. So I agree with you. I think both you guys are right. I understand where Angelo's coming from as far as the idea of opportunity has been there for a while for Zurdo Ramirez to fight Jai Opetaia, but he didn't take the opportunity. But I agree with you, Coach, that he's also been being moved strategically. It's not fear. It's about business and strategically moving. If you look at where Zurdo Ramirez is today, hindsight says he did all the right moves, that Oscar did all the right moves with him, and that he's been moved correctly because he's getting into a big payday, his biggest payday on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and a victory for him puts him in a whole different conversation. And the worst case scenario, a loss gets him the biggest payday, a payday that'll probably be bigger than what he would have gotten to fight Jai Opetaia.
So sure. remember that Benavidez and Zurdo didn't have, I think Zuffa's strong. They're coming in strong. They're coming in with a lot of money. I don't know exactly what. You probably know more than me, Angelo. But Zuffa helped discover Opetaia. Like we all know who this guy is now on this, this side of the planet. But Benavidez didn't need that. He grinded out. I think Zurdo weaseled his way into getting 2 world titles. And we got to give him credit for that. He didn't have all the money. Oscar cheap as a motherfucker. So he didn't have that push. Jai Opetaia has the push. But at the same time, the only one that didn't need that was Benavidez because he fought his ass off for it. He built his name fighting all the top competition and willing to fight more. So I know from me knowing him, I know he's gonna go after Opetaia. And where my man go?
He probably got disconnected. His internet be going out. All type of shit be happening. He'll be back. But go ahead.
So I think Zuffa. Shout out to Zuffa because if it wasn't for that platform and exposure, a lot of people wouldn't even know who Jai Opetaia like that.
Yeah,
they wouldn't know.
I agree with you, Coach. I mean, this was a very good conversation because I think the business of boxing is the business that in ultimately the politics, that underlying inconvenient truth, right? No matter, we want to look past it. We want to deny it. We want to say that doesn't matter, but it does matter, especially in prize fighting. It is what it is. I still stand on the fight that should be made on the back end of that victory, because I'm favoring David Benavidez, the victory over Zurdo Ramirez. I feel like the fight to make is Jai Opetaia. I think in the sense of even business is Jai Opetaia, because I think that's a fight that some people in the game with money, I think would get right behind that fight and put some money up. And I do think that Dmitry Bivol is not interested in fighting David Benavidez. I think there's multiple reasons to it. I think because I'm looking how Dmitry Bivol moved with Canelo. Once he beat Canelo and Canelo wanted that rematch, what did he say? I'll give it to you, but I got to come down and take your belt. You're not getting another shot at my belts. I want to get something out of it. I don't see what Dimitri Bivol gets out of fighting David Benavidez in the light heavyweight division. I see he's undisputed already. Arguably, that WBC title was taken off of him in an unethical way. You know what I'm saying? David was elevated to that position. He never, you know what I mean? So he has a bad, and that's the other part of the conversation. I think Dimitri Bivol has a bad taste in his mouth with the WBC. I think he feels some kind of way about the way he was handled by Mauricio Suleiman. So it's like, not only am I not getting nothing at fighting you, but also I don't want to do no work with the greasy Mexican dude who took the belt off of me for no damn reason. So what I am willing to do, though, is I will challenge myself and go for more accolades for my legacy. I will go to the cruiserweight division. I'll fight Jao Pataya for his lineal title. If you really want to fight me, David, you're a unified champion up there after you beat Zurdo. Beat Jai up, pick up that lineal belt, become the unified, maybe even undisputed champion of the division. Now we both win. Now I come up to the cruiserweight division. I tap into my legacy. You get your big fight, and you get to beat the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and you defend your undisputed status in the cruiserweight division if you're willing to go on that journey and meet me there. But I don't necessarily believe if David Benavidez goes down to the light heavyweight division that he's going to get that fight, which in turn would annoy me a little bit because it would frustrate me just off the strength of you cut all that damn weight to go down there and fight who? You beat up Better BF. He's 40 plus years old, coach. I'm sorry. It's not the same thing anymore. Jao Pataya is young. He's got a lot of momentum behind him right now. The whole space is buzzing about him right now. It seems like the right time. And like you said, from David Benavidez's point of view, maybe Ja's not ready yet. Maybe this is the time to catch Jao Pataya. This might be the perfect timing. And if we read the real-time data, and if we really read the room, David might want to move some things around and revisit what he really wants to do. Because I know he wants to be great. I know he ain't running from nobody. I know he's not scared, but he might be sticking to an old plan that might be outdated right now. Might not be the season for that. It might be a new season for him right now. Jao Pataya might be the fight that should be made right now on the back end of a victory against Zurdo Ramirez and becoming unified champion. There's some leverage there. Yay, nay? How you feel?
No, I think I think you on the money. It is. We do have to move with the time. It is getting things are getting a little outdated. Like the belts. Hopefully, but sometimes you're on your last string and you can make a comeback. The belts are hurting right now, and they're on the last string. People are we could see under the hood now. We've been seeing that people been greedy, and I think that you're right. I think that it is a new time coming along, and me personally, I even adapted with the times too. So I would like people on Zuffa, not everybody, but I would like someone on Zuffa to see how they do, especially the ones that are ready to fight anybody.
Facts.
But yeah, I love it. But first off, let me give a shout out. Okay, Ray, let me give a shout out to you, Claymore, for having me on this platform. I love these real conversations, real boxing talk. That's what the sports need. And respect to my guy Angelo. I know we went back and forth, and that's what it's all about: competition, different views, and but I still stand on what I said. At the end of the day, like my man Stock Chaser says, at the end of the day,
I do
respect Jao Pataya. He's a real fighter, no doubt. But I'm here to deal in hype or hypotheticals. I'm not here to deal with that. I'm here to talk facts. And I heard Angelo talking, and it was bothering me some. So I appreciate you putting the link on and letting me come on. And
nah, man, you need to come up here more often. The conversation is way more. I try to do better. That's why. I wasn't cutting you off today. I know Angelo gets excited. We both can get excited at times.
You know what it is?
think that's because you was on my side, Claymore. Because if I was against you, boy, I would.
You never know. You never know. No,
Yeah.
listen. I'm learning to dial myself back, and I'm more interested in what you have to say than what I have to say. But at times, you do feel like you want to interject, but you don't get to the point because sometimes you're going somewhere.
Yeah, you're going on circles, Coach. Like we're already.
But he's going somewhere, right? So it's like if I stop him in the middle of it, he won't get there. Even if he goes maybe he'll circle the block once, but he's still going somewhere. If you give him the time to get there, it usually ends up somewhere. But I'll tell you what ends up happening if you cut him off. You never get there, and all you get is the circle, and you don't get the real point. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. I agree.
That's why it's important for the poise to be there, to be able to just be patient enough to allow the teacher, the trainer, the coach, the guy who has this vision to kind of make the vision felt. Because at the end, 9 out of 10 times, I'm happy I got there. When it comes to coach, 9 out of 10 times, when it's all said and done, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And my point, Coach, is I heard you and I agreed. I never disagreed with anything you said. The only thing I disagreed with you on is when you were calling Jai Apataya a bitch. I'm like, no, I'm about to put you on your place because he's not. But other than that, Coach, there was not one time that I disagreed with anything you said.
But
you
to disagree with what I say, because I come in a way where I'm not just going to spit something out there that's just, like I said, that's hype, that's hypothetical. I actually I like to speak in facts.
Right. So, Coach, what
about David Benavidez? He has proven himself against multiple top level fighters. That's right. That has a deeper resume. And I would never call him a duck. And if Gilbert Ramirez steps in there with him, remember, he's not ducking Obitaya. He's choosing a bigger, more money challenge. That's another elite challenge that he got. That, remember, we went through his resume, and he beat people that beat people. Obitaya really didn't beat people that beat people. You know, so that's
Coach. That's the only.
But you're
no because the way you
glorious at cutting people off.
No, I'm telling you, Coach. You have literally, Coach. You have literally driven your point to look. You keep driving your same point over and over and over again, and people are hearing it, Coach. And I keep telling you, I don't disagree with you when you say David Benavidez has it. I don't know how else to be better for you than to agree with the things you're saying. The one thing I disagree with you on is every time Jai Apataya's name comes out of your mouth, you make it seem like he's not the Ring Magazine and the best cruiserweight champion in the world. And that I will disagree with you on all the time. Because what else does the guy have to do to prove that he's the best? What else do you want from him to prove that he's the best? And yes, Zurdo, prior to the Benavidez explanation that Claymore said.
For this? I don't understand. Are we leaving or am I going to prove that he's not the best cruiserweight? What? Or do we have
so you don't think he's the best cruiserweight?
No.
You don't believe he's the best cruiserweight?
It don't go me just spitting out who's the.
I'm just saying that's on top. Like, I mean,
the table.
We're talking about today, Coach.
Damn, bro. Hold on. Okay.
Coach, you're trying to tell me that Jai Apataya.
Wait, Angelo. Just to be clear, right? So you don't think he's not the best cruiserweight? Jai's not, and you can prove it, obviously. But just to say he's not the best cruiserweight, though, is that what you're saying?
Do we have time for me to set the table so people can eat?
I'm gonna take that as you don't think he's the best cruiserweight in the world, which is another conversation for
Angelo
another
is
time.
saying that because Zuffa put him on, he's the
No,
best.
When did I ever say that, Clay? When did I ever say that? Clay, you see what he's doing? No, bro. No, you're not doing that to me, Coach. Not once did I mention Zuffa. Not once did I mention Zuffa belts. All I've been saying repeatedly, and you can rewind this to all the chat that's going to try to cook me. Name one time I mentioned the word Zuffa. I just kept saying Jai Apataya, Jai Apataya, Jai Apataya, and that triggers you, Hector Bermudez. every time I say Jai Opetaia is the best cruiserweight champion in the world today. For whatever reason, every time you say Jai Opetaia, you think he's not. So yes, coach, I am challenging you for that. Go ahead and prove to me how he's not the best cruiserweight in the world.
All right.
Oh my God. I to be honest with you, I do have the time.
Let me break this down.
Wait. I'm about to set the stage, right? Because I actually have the time, believe it or not. I actually have the time, right? It's not what I plan on doing, but I'm very intrigued. I believe Jai Opetaia is the best cruiserweight in the world. But I'm interested in Coach you kind of not only explain to me why he's not the best, but who is the best if it ain't Opetaia, if it's not him. So one, he's not the best, but who is the best? I'm gonna hit my little emoji thing. I'm gonna get me something and fix me something to eat real quick and come right back. And I'm gonna be listening and I'm gonna let you guys get at it. Are you guys down to do this? But no, listen, I have to moderate because I need Coach to get his time to speak. I need Angelo. I need you not to cut him off when he's doing his thing, bro. So I can.
Hey, listen. Hey, Clay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my shit on mute, but I promise you, bro, if he keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over again and actually not make a factual point on proving that Jai Opetaia currently today in 2026 is somehow not the best cruiserweight in the world, bro, he's not about to call me things. He's putting words into my mouth. Not once did I ever say the word Zuffa. Not once. And that's on you, Coach. You have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm talking strictly about the Ring Magazine champion, the lineal champion, Jai Opetaia. But I'll put my shit on mute and let me see you prove how he's not the lineal Ring Magazine champion and the best cruiserweight in the world. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to set the stage. I'm actually going to pull myself off the stage. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here, this is what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to put Coach. I'm going to let you have the screen. I'm pulling Angelo down because he already done made it clear if he hears something he don't want to hear, he going to say something.
I want to look at Angelo, though. I need to look at him. Where he go?
All right, listen, that's you. You're requesting it. I'm offering you the stage so you can just speak and bring him back on. But if you want him up there, hey, he's up there for you, bro. That it is what it is. You taking the chances. It's a rough game, but I'm super intrigued by this conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna hang back because I want to watch this. I'm gonna come off the screen. I'll come back on if I have to. I hope I don't have to. I'd rather hear a good debate. Let's respect each other. I mean, I know there's always respect for a fact, but let each other build because this is a great one. Let's get it.
So now that I got, man, this feels weird because I actually got the floor without knowing that I'm gonna be cut off. So I could like take my time and explain things without the ADHD within Angelo erupting and yelling, because all he does is yell and talk over people to make a point. So in this case, I'm not saying that Jai Opetaia isn't elite, and I'm talking to the chat. I'm not saying that he's not elite, because he is. But calling him the best cruiserweight in the world right now, I think is a stretch, right? I think is a stretch. He could pass the eye test. People could love him. People could love the narrative that he had with a lot of people was heartfelt because he was crying when he was like, I did all this, my jaw broken for the IBF and this, that, and people felt him. People love that. So I'm not saying he isn't elite, right? There's a difference, y'all. Listen to the chat. There's a difference, and I'm reading the chat as I'm talking. So there's a difference between looking like the best and proving you're the best, right? And I hopefully Angelo don't jump in here, because I'm gonna repeat it again, and because he said he's gonna jump in if I keep repeating myself. I'm just gonna repeat myself one time, Angelo. So there's a difference between looking like you're the best and proving you're the best, right? to be the best in the division, you need clear wins over top names. I'm gonna say this again, Angelo. I'm sorry, I'll keep repeating myself. I sound like two-tone over here and keep repeating myself. To be the best in the division, you need clear wins over top names, not just one standout performance on Zuffa, right? So not just one standout performance. So hold on, Angelo. You don't need to come back in here. I know you thirsty right now. You still got guys like, I don't know if Maurice Prescott's out there, but you still got Brady's, who's been proven at that level. But now you got Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. He's been in the mix, was able to grab titles, right? Right now, Obataia might be one of the best, but he hasn't separated himself as the best yet. That's all I'm saying. I think he's a bad motherfucker. If you say he beat Brady's, right? He won with a broken jaw. That was a great win. But one win doesn't automatically make you the king of the division. Eye test, because I'm thinking what you would say. Eye test doesn't crown champion. I think the resume does. Right? He's in the conversation, but he's not above it. Top tier, yeah, he's top tier in the division. Clear, a clear number one? No, not yet. I'm sorry. Talent-wise, he might be there. But resume, talent-wise, he's there, but resume-wise, is not settled. I'm sorry, it's not settled. You earned the one spot. You don't get it off potential, and just because you got a big, huge machine behind you like Zuffa, and give you a Ring Magazine belt, to just automatically be number one. Obataia, I'm gonna say it like this. I end it like this. Obataia is elite, no question. But until he consistently beat the top of the division, I'm not ready to call him the best cruiserweight in the world. Especially now that you have someone like David Red Flag or the Monster Benavidez in it. Angelo, the floor is yours.
Okay, so you promise you're not cutting me off at all when I start to go on. I'm going to counter everything that you said, and I'm going to say some hurtful ass shit to you too, Coach, that you're going to feel like you're going to jump in on. I asked you to actually give me a fact as to why you, sir, believe Jai Obataia is not the best cruiserweight in the world, and you ain't said nothing but an opinion. Okay, because the fact is, he beat the lineal champion who won the Super Six or the World Series of Boxing. That's the guy he beat. The minute he beat that guy, there was really no more argument. But Jai, he didn't like move up in weight. He chose to stay in the division because he was trying to fight everyone. Now, here's what he did during that time after he beat Braidis, who had just won that World Series championship to become the Ring Magazine lineal and the whole nine. Right? He kept fighting all his mandatories. This is where I get the same arguments against Inoue when I defend Inoue. If you're fighting your mandatories, that's your mandatories. He didn't duck any of his mandatories at all. He kept fighting them all. He kept with Eddie Hearn saying he was doing his best, but couldn't make any money out of Jai. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's the business thing. Whatever, though. But we're not going to act like Jai Obataia, who was already the best the minute he beat Braidis. The minute that happened, he was already the best. Wasn't trying to fight everyone else. He was trying to fight everyone else. Everyone else didn't want to fight him. And Eddie Hearn, and by the way, you notice I've not once, Coach, mentioned the word Zuffa to you? Not once. You may have an issue with it, but I haven't mentioned it once. This is pre-Zuffa. This is pre all of it. This is Turkey Alex Shake in 2023, now giving Jai Apataya chances at Riyadh season to prove that he's the best. And none of them wanted to fight him. Not Zurdo, not Christian Williams-Smith, who was under Matchroom, and Eddie knows Christian Williams-Smith, his own guy, would have gotten destroyed by Jai at that time. But conveniently, Eddie was saying, oh, no, I can't have my same guys fight each other. I can't have Christian Williams-Smith. But all of a sudden, you can have him fighting him now? That's what Jai was saying. It's like, oh, but now that I'm not under you, now we can fight? Like, what are we doing? Okay. At the end of the day, Ring Magazine, all the writers, everybody who it's not an eye test thing, is just resume proven. The man who beat the man is the best. Zurdo has not beaten the man at cruiserweight. Christian Williams-Smith has not beaten the man at cruiserweight. No one has beaten the man at cruiserweight because by factual arguments, Jai Apataya is the man who beat the man. So he's the best. It's not an opinion. Those are actual facts. Not once does that have anything to do with Zuffa. Now, I will address your whole Zuffa thing. You're saying that somehow I said he's the best. So you cut me off? No, you already cut me off. I let you talk for all that time and you already cut me off. You said, no, I'm jumping at you because you're trying to put words in my mouth. Not once did I ever say Zuffa. I'm talking about Jai Apataya from 2023 to now, right? But to address you saying Zuffa, you're trying to say that the reason why Jai Apataya somehow isn't the best cruiserweight in the world is because the Zuffa machine is behind him, and because he's now going to become popular, people shouldn't say that he's the best. He's been the best since 2023, coach. He's been the best. The fact that Zuffa's there has nothing to do with nothing. No one, and I hope, and by the way, not once did I ever say David Benavidez sucks. I never said any of that. I agreed with you on everything about David Benavidez being awesome. Nothing. I didn't say, I didn't ever even said Jai Apataya versus David Benavidez. Let's have that discussion. We can't have that discussion. The reason why we cannot have that discussion is we need to see David do what he's going to do against Zurdo, which he's going to beat Zurdo. I'm not putting no money on Zurdo Ramirez, making it hard on David Benavidez. David Benavidez is going to spank Zurdo. He's going to win those two belts. And according to what he said, to what David Benavidez is saying, factually, coach, not an opinion. This is according to David on all his interviews. He said he wants to move back down and he wants to try to fight Bivol and Baturvia. Factually speaking, Bivol and his team has already said Bivol's going to fight Eifert in May, and then he's going to fight Baturvia. He did not mention Benavidez at all. So what I'm saying and what I keep saying is Jai Apataya will not wait for anyone. If no one fights him as the best cruiserweight in the world in 2026, then he's just moving to heavyweight in 2027. You can come back on, Clay, if you want to, but that's my point. Those are all just facts, not opinions.
Is Clay here or okay, Clay, you know, he got a little fuel in him. Everybody keeps saying, you know, my man Angelo, all he did was just keep saying that Jay is the best cruiserweight in the world. But based on what standard, because he beat, there's new people in town. There's a new sheriff in town, and that was Zurdo Ramirez, which his resume already is better than Jai Apataya. And we're calling someone number one that has to come with a clear separation. He hasn't really separated himself. So, you know, that was my point. Right now, I think Jay, you know, I think he hasn't cleaned out the division. He's not a Benavidez.
Both you guys had points, right? Now, I'm going to make a decision who I thought won, right? Coach, I'm going to be real with you.
Hey, listen. Let the chat make that decision because the home team. The home team advantage is crazy.
Hold on. One for Coach, 2 for Angelo Reyes. Right? Put it in the chat. By the way, 1 for Coach, 2 for Angelo Reyes. 1 for Coach. Don't get it confused. 1 is for Coach, 2 is for Angelo Reyes. Y'all put it in the chat who y'all think won the debate, but I'm still going to tap in. Right? Now I'm going to say this. Jao Pataya earned his lineal championship the way that's the one belt he has around his waist that's in the game that doesn't involve politics. The guy who has the belt, he beat that guy and took that belt off of him to crown him.
Who was number 1? 1 for Coach, 2 for Angelo, or 2 for Angelo?
1 for Coach, 2 for Angelo. 1 for Coach, 2 for Angelo.
Oh yeah. I see a lot of number 1s up there.
I see a couple of 1s. I see some 2s too, but I see some 1s too for sure. We're gonna tally up. I see a lot of 1s. They're popping up. You can get some
every
1s.
time I see a 2, they got a Filipino last name, so I
don't know. but I'm gonna say like this.
I'll give myself one.
To me, Jao Pataya, I just think it's hard for me to argue that he is the best cruiserweight in the world. He has the lineal title. Just because fighters don't want to fight him or they haven't found a reason monetarily, business-wise, to see a reason to fight him, I don't know what to say about that. He is the best cruiserweight on the world according to, like you said, the facts. Now, who he's fought, you can use that. You can say he didn't fight this guy, he didn't fight that guy, but it's not because he didn't want to or that he chose not to. That's just something that until it happens, it happens. So I agree with you on the idea of who you fight makes a difference in all those points that you were hitting on. But I think Angelo's the simple rebuttal to that makes sense on the fact that that man pulled the lineal championship. He is the fighter to beat. To be the man, you have to beat the man, and the man in the division is Jao Pataya. If you want that ring belt, you have to beat him, which makes him the man. I respect the lineal championship. I think that's one belt that I respect because of how you get it. You know what I'm saying? There are divisions right now without lineal champions in them because it's not something that just easily is given to a person. You have to earn it. But I understand, once again, your point as far as the idea of who he's fighting. But that's something he may not be able to help. But that lineal championship, I have to respect it. I don't see how I don't see Jao Pataya as the best cruiserweight in the world based off the facts. That's
so let me say this one thing, and also I love being able to go back and forth with Angelo because he's I think he's awesome at this. I'm not really even that good at this. I'm a boxing trainer. I don't know how to even debate, but it's awesome to even just talk boxing and people engage like they are in the chat. And I do see a lot of number 1, so we're just gonna leave it at that. There,
yeah, those are all the Reyes haters, Coach. They don't know
Reyes haters or Bermuda's fans.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know these people. I don't know. They just knowledgeable people. I don't know these guys, but they just knowledgeable.
Sure, Coach. We'll say that.
What I have a problem with is the belts, right? So I go no, yeah.
The lady's waiting.
I'm doing that now.
My girl standing in front of the lady.
So I'll say this before I leave. Just like Rohan Polanco was ranked in the top 10, and he keeps getting. How do we go to number 1 when Manny Pacquiao come in before him, right? Then you got now I seen Teofimo just jumped him. So people keep jumping him in line, right? And that's the same. So if that's what we're gonna do, okay, that's what we'll do. So now, hey, Benavidez is that cruiserweight now, right? So if that's how we
not yet, Coach, but yeah, he will be.
Well, is the fight signed?
They're promoting it, so yeah. Did they rank them already? I don't know. But by the way, when you're saying the rankings, I don't even really care about those sanctioning value rankings, Coach. I care about the Ring Magazine rankings. But believe me and Clay have had this. We had a whole 3-hour debate on how the hell is Rohan Polanco not higher at 147. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Not a debate, but
yeah,
I wasn't disagreeing.
Yeah, conversation. Yeah, but I'm with you, Coach. How many times did you hear me at the hangout spot already tell you that Rohan Polanco should at the very least be number 3 on that list for Ring Magazine? Because I don't care about the sanctioning bodies more than I care about Ring magazines. But Polanco should be up there. But for whatever reason, they keep keeping him at 5. I don't know why. I don't know what to tell you about that one, Coach. I think they just pushed them down. They pushed them down below Rowley.
I want to add to what Angelo's saying and to you, Coach, to say that that's the issue, right? This is the sanctioning bodies who are doing somebody like Rowley. This is what I was talking about the other day when we talk about what's going on with Alexander Usyk and him defending his title against Rico Verhoeven. I hope I'm saying this right. Verhoeven, whatever his name is. This is the issue, right? What about the Rohan Polancos of the game? What about the guys who have fought their ways through these sanctioning bodies to get ranked up, to get in a position to where they're earning themselves opportunities, but not getting them because they're not popular enough? So the sanctioning bodies system of ranking people is corrupt, to say the least. It's difficult. That's why I like the Ring magazine, because there's only one way to get it, and that's by beating the man. That's it. You got to beat the man to be the man, and I like it. And I think that's what's appealing about Zuffa boxing. Zuffa boxing is a merit-based system. You earn it by beating the guy in front of you. You get the next opportunity that's yours. That is your opportunity. It has nothing to do with popularity, but that's what happens when you build boxing off of the experience and off of the event, and you don't build boxing off the back of a fighter. Because when you build boxing on the back of a fighter, his popularity dictates what the sanctioning bodies who position themselves to receive percentages of purses, obviously they're incentivized to get with the biggest purse. You know what I'm saying? There's no question about that. You incentivize that, and that becomes difficult to make you guys biased or unbiased, when it comes to making a decision on who's next in line and who should get the fight. You will take a Manny Pacquiao from retirement and throw him into a position, and you will leapfrog a Rohan Polanco because Manny Pacquiao brings in more eyes and money. You will leapfrog whoever was in front of Ryan Garcia, even though he's coming off of a loss, and you will throw him in there with a Mario Barrios, and you will get in the way of the nature of the sport being true to itself, which is the best fighting the best. This is the flaw with the sanctioning bodies. This is what they're in the crosshairs of as far as scrutiny is concerned. And this is why a Ring magazine belt is so valuable, because of those principles that it's standing by. And we should hope that it stays that way and that it continues to move that way. And Zuffa boxing becomes appealing to the boxing fan who wants to see boxing moved on a more traditional merit-based system and can get away from all the commercial mumbo jumbo word salad wordplay that they do to put us in a position where we're watching Rolly Romero as a WBA champion in the welterweight division, which makes no sense. Makes zero sense. But here we are in that situation. That's why the sanctioning bodies get that heat. It is what it is. But once again, that argument that you put out there about Rohan Polanco, that's an argument for Jao Patai being the best cruiserweight, because look at how he's getting played in the sanctioning bodies. A champion, Zurdo Ramirez is WBA and WBO, like you said earlier. Man, was he moved well. You got to give props to those guys and those handlers who moved him well, because how did he get in that position? Those belts don't mean as much as that Ring magazine belt. They just don't. It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
I thought Coach was going to say something. I didn't want to interrupt him.
He's on mute. I think he's looking up some things.
I was on mute. My bad. No, I agree with it. I think it's hurtful. It's hurtful to see people get jumped and keep getting jumped. I just don't know, how do you become number one in this instance? It's just like, did you just come up in the wrong era? Because even in the Ring magazine, I think Polanco at one point in time was number 4.
Yes, he was, Coach. He was number 4.
Yeah, he hasn't lost yet, and there's people that's in front of him now that lost. And come on, like Ryan Garcia beating Barrios, like no one's seen that. Everybody's seen that coming. Barrios is, respect to him. I think he did awesome with his level of talent. I think he did man, he made a living off of boxing, and he could go on making a living off of boxing, and his kids will benefit from that. And so shout out to him because that's what it's all about. But now in the Ring magazine, because you put Garcia in front of Polanco just because of one fight, knowing that, the weakest champion there. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it's just my point stands is that he just jumped everybody. Same with Teofimo. You just jumped Polanco in the WBO and you just lost. You just lost, and you move up out of that weight class, which you're small for 140. Now you're super small. It's a narrative now that you're 140, you're much greater. So you jumped in the WBO, coming off a loss, go to different, and then you just jump ahead of everybody again. It's just, I got the Jay Opataya face and energy because it's sad, right? It's sad to when he was up there saying that I broke my jaw, this, that, and that was sad. I felt him. And it's the same thing now. It's like, man, how do we ever get to number one? There's people that's losing in front of us, and they still make. Brian Norman, an awesome fighter, but he lost. And he's still in front of Polanco and Tiger Johnson. And, is how do we ever get to number one so you force a champion to fight you?
Yeah, if there's no
I was just gonna say, Clay, that I'm one of the biggest Rohan Polanco defenders out there, Coach. You know that for a fact. And yeah, this is why me and Clay were having such a long debate about. I always say Max Kellerman, man, Dougie Fisher, like you guys. It's not that we dislike it, but we don't like how you guys are moving your Ring magazine rankings, because when you look at 147, which they at least did a little fix to it, but dropping Polanco to number 6 is diabolical when the guy hasn't lost. And you're going to put Rolly Romero. Okay, so first of all, Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was number 10. Rohan Polanco at that time, they bumped him down to number 5, I think, which was weird, right? But now you got Rohan Polanco. So you bumped Rohan Polanco from 4 to 5 to 6. For what reason exactly? You got no reason. You got zero reasons to do it. And when Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios, if Mario Barrios was number 10 at the time, then that means at best, Ryan Garcia maybe moves up to number 9, maybe number 8, right? Certainly he's not better than Giasov. Giasov has been waiting for his chance at the title, like very similar to Polanco, Ajay Apataya, where it's like, what else do people like Polanco and Giasov have to do in order to actually be recognized above people who, like Coach says, Brian Norman lost. He lost to Devin Haney. Sure, man. You guys want to drop him down to number 2, I guess. I guess you can do that. But Staniotis lost. He lost to Boots at 47. He did a comeback fight at a catchweight, but he's still ranked number 3. I mean, at that point, it would have been easy to just say, well, Polanco goes up to number 3, right? But for you guys, Ring Magazine, I'm talking about now, to allow Rolly Romero to be ahead of Polanco? Rolly Romero, who's supposed to fight Giasov and keeps finding ways to duck him, right? But to your point, Coach, business-wise, it's a better business for Rolly. Sure, whatever, Coach. I agree with you on the business side of it all, right? Got to get your money where you can get it. But it is unfair, because if you're going to agree with that, then I feel bad for people like Polanco. I feel bad for people like Giasov. These are guys who are just, go down the list, Coach, right? Do you believe Polanco would beat Romero? I'd say yes. I think Polanco would beat the hell out of Romero. But what do you say, Coach? You're the one that coaches them.
No, I think,
Be
I think
objective.
the only guy that gives someone like Polanco style trouble would be Haney. And
Exactly.
It'll be interesting because we will have a training camp or two to focus on Devin Haney's his strengths and weaknesses. I think that Rohan has a better mastermind team than Bill Haney and his little minions. I think that he will get the job done. Rohan is just getting better. I think that's the only style that would give him credit. I think Courier, I think his style is would have gave him credit if he was bigger, but I just think he's too small. Giyasov hasn't really learned the professional style. He's still got the low hands amateur style where he'll run into trouble later on, right? I think Romero is a huge puncher, but also too small, too wild. His balance is off. Ryan Garcia could give him trouble with his hand speed, but I think he's just also too small. When you ever to negate his lead hand the way Romero did, he just becomes shit. Stanionis is only one style of fighting. He could be simple to beat with good defense, good fundamentals. And Brian Norman, the same thing as Stanionis. He's just a little more athletic, so you have to be careful of the angles the punches come in at. But a training camp could deal with that, and a training camp, the two would deal with Devin Haney. I know Stock Chaser is probably going crazy right now. You need to relax, Stock Chaser. I know Devin, he's a Devin Haney advocate, but I think also the Blaze. I don't know who Blaze pound for pound is, but then he had a hell of a take. 3% out of 75,000, or 3% out of 5 million. That's what the
a little bit different. There's a little bit of discrepancy there, a little bit of a difference. Hold on, let me read these super chats real quick. Shout out to Leonard Sterling, man. I'm assuming that's a euro. So yeah, I'm gonna assume that's a euro. So thank you for the €2. I appreciate it. I think that doubles up over here, man. So it's like $4 over here or something, right? So shout out. says CBS. He saw my Christian Billion Smith with Boxer Sky when Jai was with Matchroom. I know what he's talking about right there. Hold on a second here. Let me continue to go down. The Libra says great combos from the great brothers. Coach knows too. For sure, man. This was a good one, man. Let me see here. Leonard Sterling says ring ratings are shit. Panels make errors. Facts. Panels can make errors. But the champion is the champion. The guy holding that ring belt only can get that belt one way. That's by beating somebody. That's not panels. That's not panels handing out the belt. That's a fight.
Is it still the same rules? Is it still like number one had to fight number two?
Number two, right. Right,
Is
right.
that been like that? Was there something happened recently where there wasn't the case?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think so. I think the 1 and the 3, there's exceptions to the rules for the 1 and the 3 too. Hold on one second. Leonard Sterling with the €5. Again, showing love to the channel, says 147 BS ratings. Romero was not rated. Barrios was number 9 in ring before Ryan's win. How does Ryan Romero get so high? They did not rate Romero's win over Ryan. Okay. Hold on a second. I think Ray has switched it out. I think he's on it. Yeah, he's back on his regular camera. But yeah, man. Oh yeah. Also, hold on. No, I already did that one. Yeah, I already did that one. Okay, cool. I already did that one. I mean, it is what it is when it comes to the sanctioning bodies. And once again, this is the argument that Zuffa is here to address. This is why, if you hear Zuffa being talked about on here in a good light, and we talk about Zuffa the way it is because we're for one belt in the division. We're for mandatories. We're for the rankings to count for something. If I see somebody at number 5, I expect them on their next win to go up. And I expect at some point that they get an opportunity to become a champion. If they're number 2, number 1, they're mandatory. I do not expect the number 4, 5, 6, 7 guy who's the biggest star to get the title fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it. But you know what's going to help that be that way? It's because the Zuffa belt doesn't have a sanctioning body behind it who's benefiting off of the purse of a superstar. As long as that is that way, then the sport will never be pure and it will never be fair. And these fighters are putting their lives on the line. They're inside the ring boxing. They could, God forbid, I won't even say it, but the worst case scenario is a horrible case scenario. And to put your life on the line and to think that you're trying to become a champion and you're doing all the right things, you're beating everybody they put in front of you, but you're moving around the ranking structure in a way that doesn't align with what you've been accomplishing in the sport. You're undefeated, but you're going down 2 spots. And the guy who's going above you just came over for a loss. Then he got through into a title shot in the sanctioning body you're ranked in, beat the easiest guy in the division. Now he's a champion. Now he's higher ranked above you. How do you manage that as a fighter, as a trainer of a fighter like a Rohan Polanco? And as Rohan Polanco as a fighter, how does he manage that without saying it's bullshit at the end of the day? How does he get to the point to where he's still competing in the space he's competing in without saying this shit is rigged? And if it is rigged, then what am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? What am I doing here? If there's no way for me to get there, then what am I doing here? And how does that mess with the motivation of a fighter, with the motivation of a trainer like yourself, Coach? How does that mess? How do you get that fire up? Don't you think there's a more motivated you and a more motivated Rohan Polanco on the back end of this next fight is the one? We win this one, we in there. The next one's a title shot. That's a different mind state than going into a fight like, beat this guy up, man. Hopefully these guys will figure you out later. It messes the whole energy of the space up. We used to say here, me and Angelo used to talk about the Riyadh stage being the biggest stage in boxing. And it's so funny because Riyadh wasn't the biggest stage, right? Like, it's not 70,000 people watching you in Riyadh.
No.
You know what I'm saying? The crowd ain't going crazy. But why is it the biggest stage? It's the biggest stage because what happened in Riyadh matters.
Yep.
It matters. When you go up in there and you get a chance to fight on a Riyadh stage, you go win this. Why? Because the money's here. The opportunities are here. If we do good here, we're going to get brought back. Bigger opportunities. Why are the Zuffa boxing cards coming together the way they are? And they are coming together. You might not know the names, but those guys are competing at a high level. Why? Because they know those fights matter. They get it. They're like, if I win this, the next situation is going to be a certain different way for me. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to the Super Bowl. This is 15 games in the season. If this is football, every game matters. We're not throwing games away because we don't need this game. No, we need every game. We need to win these damn games. But in the current boxing space, how are these fighters moving that way? They're not. They're discouraged. They're defeated before they even get in the ring mentally because it don't even add up to nothing. It don't even matter. And there's no arguing that. So that's why Zuffa gets celebrated over here, period. I mean, it's not because we super fans of Dana, it's because we like that for the fighters.
Yeah. So before we move on, I just got to say this real quick. Shout out to everybody who voted. I appreciate y'all. I saw the results. I'm pretty sure I took that one.
Sure, Coach.
But
Go
it's
ahead.
funny though.
You could have
as soon as people speak, we switch topics like nothing happened. I respect it.
What are you talking about, Coach?
We just gonna slide past that real smooth one.
No, Clay already voted, and he said I won.
No.
That's what you didn't hear.
The chat
doesn't matter, man. I can put up a bunch of fake chats right now.
No. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. Let me give you the props. The chat voted for Coach. The chat went for Coach. There were more ones than twos for sure.
Yeah. So why wasn't
Coach was one of the ones? Coach is one of the votes, bro. Coach was one of the votes, bro.
Come on here, you gotta dominate because if you're even close, you
look. Wait. We're not like that, Coach. What we like to be is a factual channel, and the facts are, if you look at this rankings, it says the lineal champion is Jaya Pataya. So you were not able to prove why Jaya Pataya is not the best because it says it right there.
Got a better resume, right?
At cruiserweight, he does not.
And there's a new sheriff in town, which is the monster, Benavidez.
Yeah, when the monster, when your guy monster beats him.
We already finished that. We were supposed to go to the decision, and I'm just saying we never went to the decision.
Clay, go ahead and give him the decision, Clay. Go ahead. Go.
No, I'm telling you, you won, Coach. The winner of the according to the poll. To the people in the building.
The fake poll, sure.
To the poll. No, listen, to the chat, man. The community is not fake, man. The community is real, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, how many of the community listened to the entire...
The community voted. Listen, man, I'm not going to discredit the community. I'm not doing that. This is my community. I'm not doing that, bro. You know what I mean? Anybody who's here.
I think it would only be fair, Clay, if everybody actually voted.
People off. You don't let people talk.
Look, I'm just saying, it doesn't count if you vote for yourself, Coach. It does not count if you voted for yourself.
I didn't see Coach's vote.
Yes, he voted for his own self. It's all
okay, but it doesn't matter.
Man.
Even if you take away the vote for
Clay,
there were more ones than twos outside.
All right, and what I'm trying to say is, if everybody actually would really get a chance to vote and not just have fun and
this
listen
is the competitive nature of Angelo Reyes, who cannot.
No, man, I'm not. Look, Clay, you look me in the face and tell me that Jai Albertine is not the lineal champion and the best cruiserweight in the world. You can't, because you know he is.
I already gave my vote. I told you I came in early.
You voted for 2. So the host of the show voted for 2. Boom, it's over. It's over, Bermudez. You're done, son.
Super competitive.
You're done.
Super competitive. At the end of the day, the vote in the room, the people in the room voted for Coach Hector Bermudez, and I think and
it wasn't even close.
And I thought, listen,
it wasn't even close. Hey,
there were really that many ones.
Go ahead.
There's more ones even right now popping up. But listen, listen. The point. This is why the debate was. It's not important for me about who won necessarily. I thought it was a good debate because I thought what Coach was saying.
Of course, it's home cooking. That's why you don't care.
No. Listen, it was hitting on points that were true. In other words, the reality is, to be the man, you have to beat the man. But I thought it worked against you, Coach, because Jai Albertine did beat the man to become the man. He didn't get just crowned. He literally beat the man to be the man. Now, if you don't value the Ring Magazine belt and all that, that's a different conversation, right? But at the end of the day, no matter what happened, Zurdo Ramirez didn't beat the man. He didn't beat the man to become the man.
Zuffa wasn't in existence, and
you're talking about notoriety and popularity right now.
Doing, but see what I'm saying, Clay.
Australia, we won't even be saying this right now. We were
saying it. That was why. That's why I won that. Yeah.
This is way before.
This is exactly people off.
That's what. Hey guys, that's what keeps. No, I'm telling you right now. I literally addressed that, Coach. You keep saying Zuffa, and I keep telling you I never once said Zuffa. Yes, I'm talking about 2023. You keep talking about Zuffa.
Jai Albertine was the #1 cruiserweight in the world before Zuffa was even started or thought of. He won that a long time ago. He won that once he won that lineal belt. He really was the best cruiserweight in the world, and there was only one way to dispute it.
People came and fought better people than he fought with a better resume.
Who are the people? Who are the people you're talking about? Who are the people you're talking about?
In the cruiserweight division?
Who? Yeah, Zurdo Ramirez got a better resume than.
No, he doesn't.
In the cruiserweight division,
he does not have a better resume.
In the cruiserweight division, he doesn't. In his career, maybe. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, in his career, 168 and 175, that's nice. But at cruiserweight, he does not have a better resume. He doesn't.
I mean, who has he fought though?
Who?
Gilbert.
Let's see here. Let's pull him up right here real quick. Hold on a second. All right, let's see here. All right, in his 200-pound career, here it is right here. Let's go from Joe Smith, right?
Oh.
We're not even bringing him up, right? Arsen Goulamari, who you had a lot of respect for.
Joe Smith, why not?
Joe Smith was ending his career at cruiserweight, bro. Joe Smith's biggest accomplishments was probably around in the light heavyweight division, if I'm correct. I don't think he did nothing special in the cruiserweight division. But you know what I'm saying? Arsen, you give a lot of props to this guy right here, Arsen Goulamarian.
Which is a monster.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'll give him that fighter right there.
And he was 20, and when he beat him, he was 27-0. Don't just run by him like
no, I'm not. I'm saying I just pulled up his record in front of everybody. I'm telling you, I pulled it up in front of everybody. The only loss he has is against Zurdo Ramirez. That's why I said that's
actually Goulamarian is better than the guy that Albertine just beat.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Glanton. All right, but look. Hold on. So then he beat Chris Billiam Smith, right? He beat Chris Billiam Smith. That's a great win.
Over the people.
No, that's it. That's it. I'm trying. It's Joe Smith. He's only got 4 fights in the cruiserweight division. He only has 4. He has Arsen Goulamarian.
Chris Smith is a monster.
Okay, that's 2. Okay, now let's go.
Which Chris Smith also beat Glanton.
I know he won 7 rounds in a really good fight. Yeah,
Zurdo Ramirez has 4 fights already. I can tell you there's an issue. Zurdo Ramirez has 4 fights as a cruiserweight, right? He has 4 fights as a cruiserweight. Let's go to Jai Batai, who I believe is a career.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Cruiserweight, right?
Did you mention Dorticos?
30 wins, 23 knockouts.
Dorticos was 82, Coach.
Hold
the
on.
last time Dorticos mattered was in 2020.
I think he's officially like 93 years old right now. Them Cubans age different. Listen, 30 wins, 23 knockouts, right? Every one of his fights is at cruiserweight, bro. Every single one of his fights are at some. He even got some. He got some heavyweight fights in here. He has all his fights are at cruiserweight. Generally, the lion's share of his fights are at cruiserweight. And he beat the man who beat the man. You can't take Zurdo Ramirez can't come in here with 4 fights under his belt. 2 of them that you can say are names. One of them, the guy who was 27-0, who I didn't even know who he was until you brought him up, and Christian Billy and Smith. Outside of that, come on, man. Who has a better resume in the cruiserweight division? It's Jai. Jai's a career cruiserweight. He's the guy who's undefeated. He's a guy with a highest percentage knockout. He does everything, and more importantly, he has a lineal belt. It is what it is. Now, I think you're going off the eye test. You just think Zurdo's better than him, which is okay. I think that's fair.
Actually, no, I don't.
So if you don't think he's better than him, then what are we arguing about?
Exactly.
No, better and better resume is 2 different things.
But his resume's not even good.
Who's the best
his resume's ass.
Who's the best cruiserweight in the game?
It have to be proven, and I think Zurdo.
And y'all better start putting a bunch of 2s up in there, Coach. Look,
Coach, I ain't gonna lie, man. The debate's getting bad, bro, for you.
Yeah, I should have stopped.
Look,
you were good.
Look, the minute
you went somewhere with it, I think you kind of slowed a little bit.
The problem, Coach, is in a debate, you have to actually prove what it is that you're trying to prove. And the question of the debate is, prove to us that Jai Opetaia is not the best cruiserweight. And you couldn't bring up anything factual. All you kept saying is, well, Zurdo Ramirez is the better looking car. He's the better looking car. It doesn't matter. You haven't proven that in a race that Zurdo has beaten Jai. Jai, on the other hand, has proven in the race that he's the best cruiserweight in the world. So you lost. It's all good. Don't worry about the home cooking or none of that until you can factually prove that Jai Opetaia is not the lineal and best cruiserweight in the world. You could go ahead and continue to shine Zurdo Ramirez's car.
Yeah, I think Coach, being that you've always been, you came up here and you said you don't deal with, the make believe or the fantasy. You deal with the facts.
Yeah.
I think
I gotta go help my guy.
All right, this goes out and say the facts.
This is what Coach does. He starts to lead when he knows he lost, yo.
The facts say that the test that is provided for who's the best, Jai Opetaia took that test and passed it. He beat the man who beat the man. It's his title to be taken, not to gain. You got to come take it from him if you want to be the man, but you can't be the man without beating the man, and the man is Jai Opetaia. It is what it is. I didn't make the rules. I'm just reading it back to you. That's all.
Listen, man, you guys are awesome. But I think shout out to you again for putting me on here, because I don't do this for fame, but people are they starting to, for some reason, notice me more and say, hey, you on the hangout spot, or I seen you at this podcast, seen you at that podcast. So, but I appreciate the platform. Angelo, you do
more often, man. I'm gonna start throwing you the link when I see the green pop up. I'm gonna start hitting you the link because I like the conversations. You were good though. I ain't gonna lie.
You tried.
You watch it back. I think when you watch it back, you'll agree and be like, I had it. I was good, but I ain't gonna lie.
No, but actually, whatever Angelo was saying, I was just going the opposite way. I agree with I think
on the back end, you'll be like, awesome. As far as winning the debate was concerned, as far as like winning, you had your point towards the end.
It also shows that there's always people could always hate and go the other way.
Yeah.
And this is what people had to be,
exposed
look
to.
out for. Because honestly, I do think that Jay Obatai is the best cruiserweight. I think he's awesome. He still got flaws, like I said. I think he just.
I agree. I agree with that, Coach.
But yeah, whatever you were saying, my mind was just like, I'm gonna.
I know you were trying to go against the champ, Coach, and I get it. It's all right, man. Everybody wants a piece of the champ.
To everybody watching and supporting, keep the super chats coming. That's how you support the channel. I appreciate you all as well, especially in the chat. Stock Chaser, I see you on here. The biggest Devin Haney Glazer. I appreciate you. You my guy. But this is what it's all about. Different opinions, good energy, and respect. At the end of the day, right? I'm gonna leave it there. Nothing but respect to everybody here. Until next time, peace, man.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate you, man. Peace. Thank you, Coach. Yeah. That was a good one, Enzo. That was a good one, man.
No, it's fun, but I ain't backing down, bro. You can't be like
right now. That's what it made it fun. It was good. The one thing that's important is that, and I know there's always respect. So I'm not saying that it's not there, but respect is also shown, you know what I'm saying, in certain ways. And, points have to be made and driven. And sometimes we got to be patient. And like the old Haitian proverb goes, get in for boucher now, boire de l'eau sentien, which means at times you got to close your nose and drink the stinky water. You know what I'm saying?
Are you sure it's not drink the medicine? It's drink the stinky water?
No, it's drink the water. It's about when you're thirsty and you about dehydrated and die. Sometimes that water that look a little muddy. Sometimes you close your eyes, you do a Hail Mary, and you put it back because you know that you're dehydrated. You drink the stinky water. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your best option sometimes. Sometimes even though you're hearing things you don't want to hear, it's like we got to just sit back and listen anyway. Bite our tongue. You mean we got to hit the mute because we know we're going to want that back when it's our turn.
Right. Yeah, no, Coach definitely was drinking a lot of stinky water. That's a fact.
It is what it is, man. Yo, ladies and gentlemen.
Like at the end of the day, when you hear the man himself admit that Jai Obatai is the best, and he was just trying to be devil's
he picked
advocate.
the side of an argument. He picked a side to have an argument. And that's what's great about Coach. I've done it myself.
Yeah, you see me doing devil's advocate all the time, which people think that's my actual take. And I'm like, I'm just doing devil's advocate.
He played his position. He picked a position on the table, and it was his job to deliver the arguments, and that's what he was going to do. He wasn't going to sit there and concede to anything you're saying. I'm trying to win a debate just like you are, motherfucker. You prove your shit. No, I don't see it that way. I see it this way. Let's get it. You feel me? It is what it is.
Right.
Salute to everybody in the building, man. This one was a long one, but it was a fun one. I actually had the time today because I'm working a different time window today. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Angelo, for coming up. You know what it is, man. It's always love. Shout out to all the people in the super chat, man. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, do that right now. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Support the channel. If there's a hype button or something that you can push, hit that too.
I do the hype button all the time.
Yeah. So hit that as well. You know what it is. It's that ATB Combat Media Show. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? I might have the time. So maybe tomorrow. It's possible because we didn't really get to go through the cards. You know what I'm saying? That are going to be going on. So maybe look out for the thumbnail if that's going to happen. But until the next one.
Definitely Saturday. Definitely Saturday.
Yeah, definitely Saturday. I'm calling the fights. And you already know this is the place to be on Saturday. I'm calling the fights. Love you guys, man. Until the next one. At this point. Y'all.
Make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up.